It's unfortunate having lost Drake as well.
It is. I was very sad. I mean, I know that I left before that, but like, I was like, ooh, dang.
Yeah.
I know that he's been really bummed about finding a work-life balance. It's been hard for him.
To actually work on a one-shot and see if I can work around his schedule to get him in. Because, even if he is working 2 jobs, I'm sure at some point he'll have a day off.
Yeah.
That's what one-shots are for.
Okay. Tamara is not going to be joining us today because she is on a cruise and the Wi-Fi is spotty. She told me that about 5 days ago, so this is not...
Well, Wi-Fi would be spotty and probably expensive.
Yeah. She was texting me about this mushroom foraging thing that she's going to go do, and I'm like, you're in the middle of the ocean. Like, each one of these text messages is probably like $5.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, let me see. Let me get her character sheet pulled up.
Where the hell is she going to find mushrooms on a cruise?
No,
wait,
not on a
never
cruise.
mind. I know a guy.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah. No, she's gonna do. Whenever she comes back, there's like a mycology society that she's gonna go on an excursion with, and they go all over the country, but she's gonna tag along with the trip that they're gonna do to Mississippi.
Okay then.
Yeah. All right.
That'll be fun. I got a lot of good mushrooms from cow patties back in Mississippi in my day.
It's not a kind of like it's not a psychedelic thing. It's like
no, I know. It's like actual mycology. Yeah. Hey, look, all right. I like my jokes.
Yeah, I know. I told her if you find some chicken in the woods, let me know if it actually tastes like chicken. Mm-hmm. All right. So it's just the 3 of us today.
Alrighty.
Let's put you guys over here. I don't want to archive any of the maps because you guys may want to go back to them. I think it's off the table.
It seems much smaller than... Oh, wait, no. Never mind.
There we go.
Looking at the stream, not the...
Yeah,
the thing.
I zoomed in yet, dog.
Yeah. This is like tiny. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I fixed the scaling on the city map. Each square is like 500 feet, so it's not quite as long as I had it before. Okay. So it's a little bit easier to traverse. That was just a miscalculation on my part.
Still,
okay. I mean, still, yeah,
it's a city. Sized for a city.
Yeah, it's a city. Okay. Almost there. I'm just getting rid of the noise pollution in my area. Okay. And campaign diary. All right. So, sleeping underwater is an uncomfortable experience for most, and after the loss of a close friend is, for most, equally, if not more so, uncomfortable. This being understood, it is understandable that the party's rest within the sunken derelict was short. Desiring not to linger, the party moved on after Fetch spied his ethereal guide, leaving the lower decks of the ship unexplored. The strange node of eldritch light led Fetch and his companions to a wide and winding underwater cave from which a swift, freezing current flowed. While Fetch continued on, Honesty, Val, and Touchstone were not allowed to do so by the rushing water. Within a space of darkness, Fetch could only see the white light of the entity now taking a humanoid shape, a woman of pure white light who resembled a mermaid. The figure identified itself as the Mother of Sighs, and it thanked both Fetch and his companions for returning her to the sea. She offered Fetch a fragment of her power as thanks, though he refused. Sensing conflict and doubt within the young paladin, she offered him a new path forward, an oath to uphold the ways of the open sea. Seeing this as a way to move forward from the failures and setbacks, and I'm reading into the RP that you guys did, that have weighed heavily upon him since coming to this place, Fetch accepted, and he and his party mates were swept back to shore with a mighty current. A journey of hours took only minutes. Now back on dry land and able to speak, the group scrambled to pick up the pieces and process Ebene's death. A more immediate concern was the hour growing late and the fact that they were washed upon a mud beach at low tide outside the city walls. Deciding to find new disguises, get cleaned up, and rest at their hotel before night fell. They decided, after pilfering a few odds and ends and some old clothes from the hapless innocents of the workers' quarter, the party made their way to the city gate, which was heavily guarded by the watch. Honesty, under the illusory guise of a noblewoman, approached the watch with a story that she and her entourage had wandered off the beaten path. They were suspicious. However, Honesty presented their paperwork showing that she was, in fact, currently renting a room at the Starlight Hotel. They were let through without incident, a great relief given that their last encounter with the watch nearly spelt their end. Leaving the street of strangers behind, they encountered yet another pair of haughty duelists, preparing to face the legendary Armand Veloce de Athos, the Palace of Aethers Park. Only this time, they were children, the oldest being no more than 17. Determined not to let these boys run to their deaths, Touchstone compelled the older of the two to piss himself in front of the crowd, prompting him to run away out of sheer embarrassment. Wanting to put an end to the senseless deaths, both Fetch and Touchstone sought the duelists out. However, while searching the Palace of Aethers Park, which turned out to be the overgrown remains of a burned-out hotel, their group was attacked by a pack of flaming specters, obviously the tormented spirits of the fire's victims. Once the spirits were banished, they sank beneath the earth, and Armand himself known. The mysterious fighter said to them that he had grown tired of the buffoons who had come to challenge him and watching them be torn to pieces by angry ghosts whenever they left or fled. If they can hold their own, he will teach... He gave the party an offer. Lay the ghosts to rest, and only then will he accept a challenge for them. If they can hold their own, he will teach them what he knows. They opted to sleep on the offer, considering that sundown was fast approaching, and they would rather not tangle with packs of hungry werewolves. Upon arriving at their suite, the evening meal was delivered shortly after, along with the day's newspaper, with a segment of its lead story detailing the mayhem at the museum circled in bright red ink. The message was clear. Madame Gustave knew that they were the ones responsible. A note scribbled in the margin drew their attention to an invoice from the hotel for 313 gold pieces in exchange for special services and, of course, a convenience fee. So you guys are all back at the hotel. What would you like to do?
Gotta get the money together somehow, guy. I got this much. And he puts 30 gold coins down on the table.
Well, we did say we were gonna check out that werewolf job. Seems like a good a time as any.
Did we take the night? Is this the same evening?
If you guys want to take, you guys are currently back at the hotel. It is getting close to evening. You have not yet taken a long rest.
Oh, I thought we took the long rest. Yeah,
because you guys can clearly see Val just kind of like propping himself up on like a bedpost, trying his best to stay vertical because he's not doing so hot right now.
Well, since I've got some lay on hands before we go to sleep, just so you don't have to spend as much.
Well, we should get a long rest, right? So
yeah. So he gets his lay on hands back.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
It's just.
Do we have to spend hit dice on a long rest? I thought we just got everything back.
So actually, no. I mean, I forget exactly the way that it works. Hold on. So I believe the way that it works, you just get your hit points back and you regain your spent hit dice.
You regain half of your maximum.
Oh. Yeah, let's see. It's period extended. At the end of the long rest, the character regains all lost hit points The character also regains spent hit dice up to a number of dice equal to half of the character's total number of them. So that's what the half is. That's generous. For example, if a character has 8 hit dice, he or she can regain 4 spent hit dice and finish a long rest. Hey, buddy. Hey, go see mommy. Go see mom. Go see mom. Go see mom. Hey, you want some pizza? No? Okay, well, I need you to leave. Love you. Bye-bye. He's just wandering around. He doesn't have anything in particular that he wants to do. He's just like, Dad!
So,
And
just because I don't remember the reduced hit point maximum, will that clear up after a rest?
Yes.
Yes. If it was due to the Spectre thing, that goes away after a long rest. Your reduced hit points should be back to normal.
Nice.
Hey, so long rest. Probably need to. Would we be able to hunt ghosts during the day?
Wait, shit. What level are we right now?
5.
We're level 5.
Okay. Well, why does my Roll20 character sheet have me with like 8 more HP than my D&D Beyond?
I don't know.
I don't really use Roll20, so it doesn't matter. Well, the reason I ask is because you're the one that's populated all of this, Nick. I don't touch any of the Roll20 stuff. So.
I probably guesstimated whenever you were out one time.
All right,
let me see.
Cool. I was just going to try and adjust it to get it sorted, but none of that's been even tracked after our last encounter, so it doesn't matter.
I don't even have a character sheet built for you. Like, I'm still in the character.
I don't know what that is. It's all good. It's all beyond for me.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, now I've got a character for you. So, okay. Do you have 34 hit points?
No, I have 28
total. 28. Okay. Okay. Well, now your hit point maximum is 28.
Nice.
Congratulations. Okay. And I believe I have populated most of the stuff. Now I have a working character sheet for you. Okay.
Maybe that's why my shit kept getting reset.
Hold on one second, guys. My child is playing with tools, which is not good. Lou. Get out of there,
Come on. Never too early to lose a finger.
Yeah, you got to get them on those chainsaws and power drills early, man.
Yeah. Look, they lose a
How else
finger
will we send them
early,
to the mines at 12?
Yet, if they lose a finger early, they learn to respect the power tools. And then that's also why you drown a kid early, so they learn to respect the water. Drowning isn't death, it's just getting water in the lungs.
Getting all the Final Fantasy and fucking Skyrim music.
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. Whew. That was scary. Okay.
What kind of tools was he playing with?
It wasn't really the tools that I was worried about. It was the heavy-ass, rusty toolbox that my grandfather had whenever he was my age. Yeah. It's not exactly up to code, so to speak. Anyway, did you guys decide anything while I was gone?
No, not yet.
No, we were just discussing the benefits of, children losing fingers early on.
Or drown.
Yes.
There's benefits to that?
They learn to respect the tools and the
That
water.
that is very true. Yeah.
The children
that's-
yearn for the mines. They want to get back there
Yeah.
as soon as possible. You got to get them
They
trained
re-
up.
they re- I'm
Yes.
telling you, I do not know how we survived as a species because these two humans that I'm raising have zero survival instincts. Like zero. If a saber-tooth tiger wandered in my backyard, they would be like, kitty, or cool. Yeah. So anyway,
I mean, as long as you give a cat food, they're usually going to be pretty cool.
yeah, our cat's pretty chill for the most part.
And
Anyway,
I'm talking about big cats too.
yeah, as long as they're not hungry, they're usually fine. Same thing with dogs too. Like wolves, as long as they're not hungry, they're usually pretty cool as long as you don't mess with them.
Mm.
Okay, so you guys we're taking a long rest?
Yes.
Okay, so let me paint a picture.
Okay.
As you tuck into your various rooms, does anybody stay up, or do you guys just go right to bed and try to get to sleep?
Maybe stay up for like an hour or two.
Val
Okay.
has had a plan to like stay up to like watch the extent of the fucking werewolf carnage, but he's fucked up tonight. So I would say that I probably retire.
That's kind of my my question is: does anybody go out onto the balcony to observe what all this is about with the hunt?
Well,
Yeah. Since I suggested it, I'll just take a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
you have a
Vetch
balcony
is
that
probably
kind of
a little bit
overlooks.
restless too. So.
Okay. So your balcony overlooks the park that is to the south of the hotel. So looking out, you have a beautiful view of the Sea of Sighs. And this wonderful, it looks like a warehouse kind of, but it's a very ornate warehouse with kind of just like, marble columned facade. And you can see very large words. It's the number 17 building over here that says Delacroix Shipping. And that's kind of the extent of your view. You don't really see anything in the way of lycanthropes or hunters where you are in this part of the city. What you do sense is the sound. It's kind of difficult to perceive the moon from where you are. You can kind of see it coming up from the west here, and it is larger than it was the previous night. I would imagine that Touchstone is kind of attuned to such things, considering he's a moon goddess worshiper.
Mhm.
And you are very certain, beyond a shadow of a doubt at this point, that that is not the moon that orbits Farron. It looks like it has slightly gotten larger, and it also looks like it has taken on more of a pinkish hue. It's not like a blood moon or anything like that. It looks just like a very soft, it's mostly a white with a pinkish tint to it, kind of like a rose quartz kind of, a lighter rose quartz kind of thing. What you hear, kind of coming from the northern part of the city, is the echoes of a chorus of howls. You hear the distant ring of gunshots kind of going off in rapid succession from, probably very many rifles and firearms. And you also hear screams. But again, they are very distant from where you are in the city. And for however long you stay out on the balcony, you do not witness a single lycanthrope or hunter.
Gonna just listen intently.
But even after you go to bed, if it were not for the walls that were around you, the sounds of the cacophony coming from the northern part of the city they basically go all throughout the night until daybreak.
Well, after about 20 minutes of just kind of staring down at the balcony, Fetch will just kind of move inside, still, still restless, but this is not making it any better.
Wow. That'll be interesting.
Unless there's something else that you would like to do, you tell
Not
me.
too much. I guess we're gonna long rest because that
Okay.
is. I'm gonna talk about that in the morning.
Okay. Fetch, did you stay up with him or did you just go right to sleep?
It was, can't really stay up all night and cover everything. So
Yeah.
I mean,
did
we
have to.
we are in the safety, so take advantage of it.
So, Touchstone, you said that you would tell them about what you heard last night. What is it that you say?
Oh, well, first I'm gonna leave it. So that's not a real moon. That is fake.
Not that that's a different moon. That's not the moon from Farron. That's just a fake moon.
It is.
What do you
Okay.
mean by fake exactly? Are they just projecting a giant light into the sky?
I don't think it's that, but it's not an actual moon. Like, I don't feel anything from it like I do from the one at home, back home.
I mean, we're all pretty far from everything. No. Everything.
This is
Remember?
different. But there's also, I happened to stay up for a few last night. I heard screams. These aren't going to be like regular werewolves. We need to be very careful.
Can you
Well,
consider maybe the screams were people getting eaten by werewolves?
They were, but something.
I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. That seems like a common thing. Maybe werewolf howls and then screams. Or I mean, did you hear any howls or anything? Or was it just werewolf screaming instead of howling?
I don't remember any howls, but there was screaming and it sounded like somebody getting torn apart.
You saw someone getting torn apart?
Well, heard it. Sorry.
now, I think we just need to. Do we want to take care of the ghosts, or we want to try and help out with some? I think we can do one or the other.
Well, I'm more of we should at least do this thing first. We can at least secure a place to stay for now, and we don't need the guard coming. The guard coming to look for us here. We can at least use this as a safe spot.
Well, like I said, we need to get the money together, and I don't
Yeah.
have that much.
So,
So,
on it is.
well,
Any objections?
it's gonna
Nope,
be.
I have no money at all. Actually, my coin purse was stolen. I forgot about that.
Oh, right.
Don't you guys have? Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
Cough, cough, platinum, cough, cough.
Yeah, that's mine.
I'm
That's
not
mine,
saying- I'm
bitches.
not
Y'all don't
saying
even
it.
know about
I'm not
that.
saying a goddamn thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let y'all play.
That's my money.
All right. That's my money, and y'all not getting it.
and if we get kicked out on the street, you are too.
That's okay. Look, Val, I can't even say too much. All right, it is important that I keep this concealed. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
Important to you.
yeah. God. All right, so, I guess we're gonna try and find our way down to wherever the hunters are, so we can.
Yeah.
We can just say, let's see, we gotta take out at least 10 werewolves, right? Because are they 25 or 50?
They
25.
are 70. I thought that they were
75.
75 apiece. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll go with that. 75.
That's why they're able to persuade all these schmucks with pitchforks and 2x4s to go attempt to kill werewolves.
Like
So then that'll only be 5 of them.
No. We should take out as many as we can just in case.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's go to the headquarters of these assholes and see if they can point us in the direction of a werewolf lair or something. I don't know.
Yep. Let's do it. Come on, no.
So,
I don't
Let's
know
just
how
go
these
jump
fucking
into-
things work, man. We need money, and these guys seem to want to pay money to kill werewolves. So fuck it, I guess.
see, it's up here, right?
Yes.
Northeast?
Give me 1 second. I am adding a spell to Honesty's sheet real quick that I forgot to add. It's not going to take me long. I'm just copy and pasting stuff. She has Hex and she has Mind Spike prepared. And she is slinging around 2nd level spell slots. Nation. That's a damn good spell. Okay. Actually, no, she has 3rd level spell slots. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
level
shit.
5.
I know, right? Okay. So you were given instructions on how to find Le Vif Argent or the Quicksilver Lodge. Your first day here, whenever you were at La Berge Enchanté in Le Quartier Marchand, which is this part of the city that you were in. You had to go outside of the city gates, and it is effectively this house right here. So all the way up at the very top. So let's do boop. So what you see as you're kind of going through here is the carnage left over from last night. At one point, a fire had broken out. These 2 blocks right here have been scorched. You kind of have to go around and go down the main way for Widow's Walk and kind of turning away from the country road to head toward the lodge. And you can just kind of see for the first time you've seen this before, but just like you see more of the rolling hills that kind of go on and on and on until the horizon. And you can see that there's just like a very large kind of cloud bank that is gathering maybe about a little bit over 500 feet from where you are currently. And you can also see that there is just this thick, dark woodland here that kind of stretches along this peninsula. And you do see that there are some structures that are kind of all along this little place right here. What you do notice, though, are a very large collection of these 3 houses that are kind of clustered together right here. They're kind of on top of a hill that goes up above the sea and to the edge of the forest. The actual lodge building is a very stout kind of 2-story longhouse, and the entire perimeter is protected by a 15-foot tall, actually maybe 20-foot tall, timber fence that is topped with sharp spikes, and all along it you see that it is just studded with these sharp iron nails, and that are the longest one that you can see is roughly half a foot long, and kind of stuck to those nails. You're watching as several workers are kind of peeling them off. There are dead werewolves that were kind of stuck there overnight that are missing their skin.
Oh.
And all along the walk, you just see the dead humans, the dead denizens of Port-a-Lucine's merchant quarter just being left until they are collected by, some of them are being collected by groups of, they look like monks or priests that are draped in gray, and they are loading some people into a cart, but not all of them. It looks like that they're deliberately avoiding some people. And you see that they all appear to be working in threes, and one of them appears to have like a tablet that has like a list attached to it. And he is the one who, and they are the ones making the decision, take that one, not that one.
Couple questions.
Sure.
So we basically made the trek from all the way and down Drakestail Boulevard all the way up here, right?
Right.
What is so you mentioned like a lot of carnage up in the Merchant's Quarter. What is like, and you mentioned there was like nothing we saw last night down here in near the hotel. So like as we progress north, what is?
So you kind of notice that whenever you're on the Street of Salons, which is right here, it kind of right here, whenever you get to this point, kind of midway through the city, is whenever you start to see traces of the hunt. You see occasionally a lycanthrope that is strung up on a lamp pole with its skin missing, its pelt removed, and then here you start to kind of, whenever you get past the Crucible building here, that's whenever, like in this block right here, that is where you start to see a heavy number of human casualties somehow. And whenever you pass through the wall here, you can see that it has been fortified with palisades of sharpened wooden spikes, and smaller metal spikes up at the very top, kind of similar to those bird deterrers that you see in New Orleans sometimes and in other cities, but they are much larger and thicker. You do see that some werewolves and some hunters and some watchmen and some denizens have met their end, especially like on the wall here and in this block right here. So this is kind of like mid. Whenever you get beyond the city walls is where you're like, holy shit, how did anybody make it through the night? One of the things that kind of you notice is whenever you walk past the Red Widow Theater right here, they're open for business and people are going. You see that their windows had these heavy metal shutters that look like that they were made of bronze, that has like a patina all over them. And you can see the claw marks kind of digging through the bronze a little bit. They didn't puncture it, but you can see scratch marks all across the building. But they're open for business and people are going to see the shows. You see for the playbill, they have several burlesque shows that are prepared for that evening. There is a sex show that is happening later that night. And they are having an opera that is being performed that is titled The Lusty Maid. So you can kind of see that it's a bit of a sultry place.
Not the lusty Yuan-Ti maid?
Yeah, sure. Why not? The lusty Yuan-Ti maid. There we go. I had to come up with something on the fly.
Yeah.
The Portalucine, you also see that there is the mill that is here, that you can clearly see. You see mostly the smokestacks of it. It is functioning. The smokestacks are still going. The hospital that you pass here, which is called, you can see that its front gate is called Phlegethon Hospital. And it looks like a fortress. It may have actually been a fortress at one time. Everybody go ahead and roll me a history check real quick.
Okay. Wait, this is the place where they hold all the people. That's right.
Ooh, touchstone, roll at advantage.
Okay. Oof, yeah.
Okay. With the 15, you do remember that this is the hospital that the governess of La Chante, L'Auberge Enchanté told you about. This is the place that has the asylum beneath it, where those afflicted with lycanthropy can be held during the hunt, so that whenever it passes, they can be released and allowed to live their lives. But it also appears to be functioning as a hospital, because you see that there are some people who are bringing the wounded from the evening before into this part of town, or into this hospital.
Mm.
And you see kind of all throughout the courtyard area, like the place is full. It is chock-a-block full of patients. And the courtyard has actually been set up as a kind of temporary shelter.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we need to make the money, so we, can't really stop you, can we?
No.
We don't have,
Well,
Honesty kind of chimes in and she says, we don't have time to stop and help every person in this place. We're better off if we just get what we need and leave as soon as possible. I hate it here.
Yeah. Do need to get you guys out of here, so. Alright. Let's go. And
Okay.
just kind of, I mean,
Meander to the lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, the description that I had before still stands. Very large building, tall fence of sharpened timbers, spikes all over the place, dead werewolves all over the place. Then it looks as if the hunters, and you can kind of distinguish between who are the official hunters and who are the hired help. The hunters themselves are wearing kind of thick leather clothing that constitute armor, and it's all over them. It goes up their neck, it covers their mouth. They have these wide-brimmed hats that kind of cover their head. They have gloves that run all the way up to the length of their elbow. They have thick trousers on, and they're all wearing a pelt of a werewolf kind of over their left shoulder. The hired help are just townspeople who are, in their typical raggedy dress. You could tell that some of them are kind of playing soldier a little bit. There's this one guy that you can see who has these cheap looking medals kind of decorate. He almost looks like I forget what the name of the character is, but it's from the Pirates of Penzance, the one who's the major model general. It's kind of Captain Crunch. Let's just say he looks like Captain Crunch. Yeah, to a comic degree, and he's like barking orders and he's pushing people around until eventually he gets told to shut up and start working. You get some kind of looks as the hunters are kind of moving the bodies around, but they don't pay you any mind because they know that you're not on their payroll. They don't recognize you. But the lodge is open. The doors are open, and there is a constant stream of people who are going in and out.
Oh, you gotta join the people who are going in.
We'll get in line.
Okay. They're going to just take the whole thing out, babe. The mold is growing in the unit. So whenever they take the unit out, they're going to take the mold out. Yeah. I have to get my entire AC unit replaced.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's basically a car payment that is being added to my budget. But anyway, so you get in line, and there really is, there's not really a formal process for this. There is a desk there. You see a trio of overworked clerks who are just kind of like taking these dripping wet wolf pelts and inspecting them and handing them over to an expert to verify their authenticity. And once you kind of once they kind of let me call you guys back. I'll be right back. I'm getting a phone call from my AC people.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, we gotta keep the stream entertained, don't we? Anything on your radar that's a highlight?
Not yet. You?
Nope. Oh, excellent. We are both absolutely terrible at this thing, aren't we?
That was my AC people, and they were calling to confirm their install time for tomorrow. Anyway, you see that people are a trio of clerks are authenticating the pelts, and so far from your time in line, everything has been satisfactory. From what you can count, it looks like it's teams of townspeople who have kind of banded together to take down a single werewolf. You even see one guy who has he looks like he is hiding an injury, and immediately he is kind of grabbed by the collar by a hunter, and he's pulled to the side, and they like pull down they take off his mask, they open up his shirt, and they start looking at the injury. They look at his eyes, they look at his hands, they look at everything, and they are not apparently satisfied with what they see. And against his protests, they drag him away to somewhere you cannot see. His friends, however, take the pouch of coin, with a smile on their face, they walk out the door.
Okay.
And eventually, it is your turn. Squirrely looking little man with glasses. He has like a mantle of wolf skin around his shoulders. He says, hello, what can I do for you? Do you have a pelt to turn in?
Not really. We're trying to figure out how we can, get in on this.
Yep, we're here to register.
You're here to register. Do you wish to... So, wait, let me see if I can understand this. You are looking to officially join Les Loges?
I mean, I kind of am.
Yes?
So not just freelancers looking for some gold, but actually looking
Well,
for
maybe
hunter
we could
status.
freelance. Well, oh yeah, whatever works.
Do you have any combat experience?
Plenty.
Plenty. What is the most dangerous thing you have felled?
Has our group fought a dragon before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we've taken out one of the big angry shark things. Taken out a couple of the
Hogans as
big
well.
angry fish people. Sahagwin?
The Sahogan? Yep.
You have fought Sahuagin and lived.
Yeah, and
On several occasions.
Many, actually.
and I took the time to collect some of the tridents because you never know when you need them underwater. So Fetch actually will produce one of them from wherever they happen to be hiding. Probably the bag of holding.
I have a proposition for you. You see, our matron Helena Corbeau Mendoza has a bit of a project that she has needed to have completed for some time, and has not wanted to devote official manpower to the task. You see, we are quite busy keeping the city secure, while the nobles and the populace wine and dine the night away. And you can see that, there's a look of contempt upon his face as he said. And he kind of, anyway, she might actually want to put your experience to use. So I would say that your ability to register may be conditional upon the ability for you to complete a certain task for Madame Mendoza, Corbeau Mendoza. Consider it a conditional signing bonus. No?
Signing
Uh?
bonus usually means we get more.
That is correct, yes.
All right, what's the pay for the intro job?
Mm-hmm.
That is not information that I am privy to, but I'm sure that Madam Corbo Mendoza will be happy to discuss those details with you.
Well, I think we're probably all in, so point us in the right direction. Let's get this over with.
Very well. Richard, can you please take over for a minute? I need to introduce this group to the madam. He kind of, and make an insight check. All of you. Well, actually, who's proficient in insight?
Not me.
Not you? Okay, just everybody make an insight check because I've already called it.
Oh wait, I actually am.
Oh, you actually am. Okay.
Still,
All right.
Well, we got
still
3
not
rolls
very
instead
good
of
at it.
2,
But
so
still not very good at it. Okay. So, touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Richard kind of come up to the elevated desk where he and the clerk introduces himself as Durant to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that the look that Richard gives you, with a 16, I would say he gives you a look like, you poor bastards.
I mean, we
Return back.
literally are poor. And
This one may be a bit of a headache. Just be warned. Just whisper that to the others.
What
And
else is
everything's
new?
a
This whole
headache.
place is a headache.
like, that's what our entire lives have been. Headache after headache.
Since coming here, yes, but this is going to be an extra strong one.
All right.
Nah, let's just
So-
see what they've got for us.
And honestly kind of pipes them and says, look, if we really need to go through all this crap just to get home, that's fine. I don't care. It can't, and we're probably going to have to run into these things anyway. I would rather run into them on our own terms than be accosted at night unawares.
True.
Anyway,
Mhm.
so Durant kind of like motions for you to follow him, and you kind of get your first look at where the lodge is. Like you kind of go to you're basically in a foyer of some kind, and it looks like this is the public facing place where the lodge is located. And you kind of go through a side passage, and there's an identical passage to the right as there is to the left. He leads you to the left, and you kind of go through this L-shaped hallway, and you see that the lodge is just a large open space. There's a roof over the top, but you can see both floors. It's kind of just like an open space in the middle. That middle space is occupied by it's basically a field hospital at this point. You can see that some hunters who have been injured are here nursing wounds. They are pouring this kind of clear solution from these vials into their wounds, and you watch as it fizzes and burns almost like acid. And you see one hunter that is in the far back. He is speaking with it looks like a hunter who is in no, not a hunter, but like someone who's in physician attire. And immediately after the conversation ends, he's out a pistol and he shoots himself in the head.
Jesus.
And for that moment, everybody kind of stops and looks. You see some more religious inclined people kind of mutter something out of respect and some parting words, and they go right back to their work of bandaging themselves up, maintaining their equipment. You kind of now have a better look at the equipment that you can see here. I had a Pinterest picture for it, but you see that they have typical weapons, things that are like axes, long swords, even spears that have what looks like firearms welded onto the metal parts. And you know, something like that is obviously very complex. So they are spending some time kind of maintaining that very delicate mechanism. And of course, you see that there are some who are like curing werewolf hides and like scraping the meat off of the skin, and so that they can use it as decoration or armor or whatever it is that they're using it for. And the kind of like lining all over the place, you see that the rooms are open. They don't have doors except for a pair of double doors at the very back of the first floor, which is where Durant is leaving you. But you can see that hunters are resting for the day, patching themselves up and maintaining their equipment here. But overall, a very intense place. The smell of blood is very heavy in this place. Eventually, you make it across this carnage to those double doors that I mentioned, and Durant knocks 3 times very quickly, and you hear a muffled voice kind of say, "Entrez," from the other side. And let me show you what she looks like. You see a woman, and this is her living quarters, but it also looks a lot like a workshop.
Mm-hmm.
You see a woman who is maintaining. She is old. She's
Is that
probably.
Anna?
Wait, what?
Is that Anna from Overwatch? Sorry.
Oh, I don't think so. If it is, coincidence. I just like the way she looked. She's probably late 50s. No, sorry, she's probably in her mid to late 60s. I misread my notes. And she is missing an eye. She has an eye patch over her right eye, and she is maintaining on a workbench this massive rifle that is almost the length of the table itself. You can see that the rifle itself, it has like this really heavy wooden stock. The mechanism is not all of that complicated, but I think the most comparable thing, if you want to Google what it looks like a 4-bore rifle. It's that huge. The caliber is massive. There is the barrel. It looks like it's made out of this Damascus pattern metal, but it has glints of silver that are kind of going throughout it. And you see that the space where the stock meets the barrel, it looks like the barrel is protruding out of an open wolf's mouth. And the wolf's ears are what form the iron sight.
Gotcha.
I don't think that's her, but it could be. Maybe it is.
It is.
It is. Well,
yeah, because her right eye is missing, and she's got the same little.
She's got the same thing. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know my Overwatch characters, but you know what? That's what we're working with. As she sees you kind of come in, she says, "Durant, who have you brought to me today?" And she like puts down her tools and she wipes grease from her hands with a rag, and she sets it down. She walks around the table and kind of meets you. And he says, "These 4 have come to the lodge looking to work as freelancers, but they have quite a bit of combat experience. And I know that you had specifically asked to see any new recruits who fit that description." Yes. Go back to the front desk, Durant. I'm sure they need you there. We've had a busy night last night." He says, "Of course." And he kind of gives a very curt nod to her, and he toddles off back to his work, closing the door behind him. "Well, welcome to the Quicksilver Lodge. Tell me, why is it that you have come here?"
In search of work.
"Work, is it? There are many easier jobs throughout the city. Wolf hunting is dirty work, painful work, can kill you if you're not careful. Why do you need this work in particular?"
It pays well, and we aren't too afraid of getting dirty.
We know how to fight. We're good at fighting. We've fought a lot. We've killed a lot. This doesn't seem like anything different. If you pay well, we will help.
Skilled and in debt. That's something I can work with.
Val will kind of raise an eyebrow.
I know the type. So, as you may have noticed on your way over here, my men are stretched very, very, very thin. The resources that we've had to scramble together in preparation for this hunt are very few and far in between. We're not even working with real silver anymore. We ran out of silver bullets the first night. We've had to work with the very clever chemists at the University of Montlieu to come up with a substitute.
Hold, Val will interject here, but I can't remember the guy's name. Fuck.
Notes.
Notes. A chemist at the university. Is he... Does the name...
Erasmus Duflan?
That's it. Where the fuck is it? Why can't I find it? Oh, because it's in my inventory, motherfucker. Because I have it as an item, not a note.
Oh, whoops. That's not what that's for, my man.
Well, because, I mean, technically we got the book. It's just I made all the details about the book in the
inventory
section.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Nicolas Decour. Erasmus de Flamme is the one who wrote it, but do either of those names ring a bell?
It rings a bell? Well, I'm not surprised. He's the longest-serving faculty on the chemistry department there, and has caused quite a bit of stir with some of his, let us say, more noticeable projects as of late, although that has not been since the hunt, but he's been very kind in offering his work.
Pipes in the toilet. On accident.
It'll be fine. It'll be okay. 5? It'll be okay. If it doesn't work out, I'll fix it. Jeez, killed. All right. So where was I? What was I talking about? I'm sorry. Children.
Experiments.
Oh yeah. So he's been very kind with offering the solution that has actually proven to be surprisingly effective against lycanthropes, if not more effective than true silver.
So he's a pretty amicable individual, then, you'd say?
A little bit eccentric, a little bit creepy, smells strange, but an honest enough fellow.
And you say you've worked together for a lot of these excursions?
Well, only recently. This hunt has only been going on for 3 nights, and it has been 52 years since the last one. Did you know? And she kind of takes off her eye patch, and you can see a completely empty socket. I got this during that last hunt. Killed a werewolf with a silver fork whenever I was 6 years old. But he took a little piece of me before he finally gave out, eh?
Yeah, well, you're so lucky it was just an eye, not the whole, whole head.
And she slides the patch back into place. Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. You're probably wondering what it is that I have in store for you. One of my hunters, a very dear friend of mine, a protege, you might say, Bernard Zabala, was performing reconnaissance in the days before the hunt was to begin in the Tenebrarum woods. He was fascinated with some stone structures that have been documented there, though no one knows exactly why they are there or what they do. But he has not returned from his work. I would like for you to accompany a hunter of mine to find his journal and return it to me.
So I guess you don't have much faith that he's, surviving out there?
It's been 3 days, and he was meant to return. Well, he's been gone for over 2 weeks. And it has been 3 days since the start of the hunt. Many of the lycanthropes, they return to the Tenebrarum woods to sleep during the day. It is safer. And it is where their progenitor prowls.
So you're basically sending us directly into the lion's den.
True.
This isn't any defense mission. This is infiltrate the base of or infiltrate the. You said the progenitor. That means the big boy is out there.
We call it Le Bête. I have seen it once before, and I tell you this now. If you see Le Bête, you don't fight, you run. If you can make it to the edge of the forest, it will go no farther. If Le Bête made its way into the city, the carnage would be insurmountable. But thankfully, there is something that prevents it from going beyond the borders of the forest. I think that it has something to do with the old ladies who live at the Three Odd Gables, but I do not know for sure. It's possible that Le Bête may have been here before even them. But that is not likely, as no one knows how long they've been here, and Le Bête has been part of our stories and our fairy tales, well, since the days of Saint Blanchette.
3 ladies by the woods, you said?
3 ladies by the woods. And if you need a tooth pulled, if you have a sickness that cannot be cured by the wonderful priests at the Mother of Tears Cathedral, it is known that they are the place to go. And if you are a practitioner of the arcane, which I don't know if you haven't noticed, but is not exactly smiled upon in this town. I am assuming that you are out-of-towners by the look of you. Yes?
You wouldn't be wrong.
They have been known to purvey in magical trinkets and gifts for those who are willing to pay their prices, but I prefer not to treat with them. They give me the creeps.
How exactly
And
you know that we are outsiders? Do you get a lot of those around here?
We do not.
Well, I think the first clue is the fact that your shirt is tidy. It's got all its stitches.
I can't wrap my head, and I'm only gonna say this because this woman seems to be somewhat, normal, and Val is just gonna kind of shake his head. I can't wrap my head around this place. Some people are, I don't know, somewhat normal, it seems like you are, and that man from the park, and then everybody out in the street in the day-to-day seems like they're, I don't know, strange.
She kind of leans in close and she says to you, in this place, we all have our parts to play. As long as we wear our masks and we play our parts and we say our lines, the play moves on, no? Some of us are aware that this is a play. Most people here, they only know the play. I have seen far too much, lost far too much, to think that this is to find a point on it, put up with the bullshit. So I will play my part, I will say my lines, and I will fulfill the role as the leader of the hunters that protect the noble aristocrats of this city from the maws of the lycanthrope scourge. Until the hunt is over and we are forced to be thought of and cursed as louts and parasites and paranoid freaks.
Who's
And
the author of
thankfully,
this play?
That's a very good question. Clearly, you're not a fool. Perhaps you'll be able to come back alive. I think that now I should put all my cards on the table and say that the last 2 groups that I have sent to find Zibala have not come back.
Well, we gotta go. Gotta prove
Considering
ourselves.
how dangerous of a mission this seems to be for I don't know, just the ability to meet and work with your group. What if you could also throw in a good word and potentially a meeting with Mr. DeFlam?
That would not be too difficult to do.
I mean, I think we could probably get our bill at the hotel taken care of, right? Or at least part of it.
What was it? 200 and something? What the hell do you call gold here?
375 total ducats.
That seems like a reasonable price to ask for an exceptionally dangerous mission that your past two groups have failed.
Yes, we've got a little magic on our side, so maybe we'll be okay. No.
All right, well, I guess we should probably get going, right? Unless, you got one of those, some of that, whatever it is
Hmm?
that stuff that what's his face is making that works better than the silver, whatever that is.
Huh?
Might be useful if we're going into werewolf territory, right? Even if we are just new hires.
Wolfsbane? Well, no.
Well, she was talking about whatever, they ran out of silver and then, they're getting the whatever it is from the university that apparently works better than silver. Right?
Yes, if they
You
have
have
any to
any of that for
spare.
us?
If they have any of that to spare, we should definitely ask when when she returns. Um oh hey, there he is. Okay. I think the two things that we came up with were one, Val wants to try to basically ask for the pay for this intro mission to basically equal our debt to the hotel right now.
At least that.
Yeah, well, that's just for this, right? Like I say, I mean, she set this whole thing up as like our even ability to work with them, right? So it's like if we set this up just to pay the rent, if they want to pay more, cool. And then if not, we have the ability to come back here to make more money later. In addition to meeting DeFlam, and then Fetch wants to know if they have any of the extra, whatever stuff works better on the werewolves than silver that we can take on our mission. So that's about what we got while you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Nick, you're muted.
Whoops. Okay, I'm back. I've been talking this whole time to no one. All right. So here's what I want you guys to do. We're going to RP the argument that you want to make that your payment for this should be everything that you're asking for. And depending on how good your argument is, I'll have you roll at advantage, regular roll, or disadvantage for persuasion. Because she has her asking price, but if you are if you've got that, then go ahead and lay it on me. What is your offer?
So just for nice even numbers, 400 gold. That way we have a little bit left over. Plus the meeting with the Flam.
Okay.
Which given the fact that, Fetch could probably just bench press her entire desk just as a show of like, look, I'm strong. I know how to handle myself.
Well, I mean,
blah, blah, blah.
We don't even really need to do all that. It's as simple as you agree to pay when the just completed. And I mean, best case scenario, we come back alive, you give us our asking, and you've completed a job that you've made it very clear that not many, if any, people here are capable of completing. Worst case, we die out there, you don't have to pay anyone anything. It's sort of a win-win. I mean, we want to be able to stay here for a little while, and in order for us to do that, we will need our expenses taken care of, at least for a few days, and then we'll be able to potentially come back and help you with more jobs down the line.
Besides, we might even kill more than how many werewolves are there? I'm not the math. 75 each, and you can kind of see the smoke coming out of Fetch's ears as he tries to
It's got to do
figure
math.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, go ahead, because both of you are kind of like adding on to this. Go ahead and roll. You can actually, let's do it this way. Both of you, like Fetch and Val, go ahead and roll persuasion, and I'll take whoever's higher.
I'll tap you out with a little bit of guidance, so never mind.
What is guidance? Oh,
Persuasion.
I guess you got a really high roll.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So, okay,
25.
Okay, so Val, you're kind of just like burying the details and not really adding any kind of persuasion to it. You're just kind of spelling things out what you want, but Fetch really sells it. And she kind of looks at you and she says, 400 gold is doable. My asking price was that we expected that Bernard had on his person several important pieces of equipment that I was going to allow you to keep. But
oh my god, my Discord just crashed. Hello? Lovely. What is up with this app? It has been dying lately.
Back?
Yeah, I'm back. My Discord crashed. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Did you catch anything what I said?
The very beginning, that there were a couple of important pieces of equipment, and then
so
nothing.
She kind of entertains your offer for a minute, but essentially what she said was that she will accept the 400 gold payment plus the any equipment that you find on Zabala that will be yours if you waive any claim to the bounties on the werewolves that you killed during this project.
Just during this project, yes.
Just during this project. You see, the funds that we have for this are coming from long savings that the lodge has accrued over decades, as well as donations from the nobility who simply want us to do our dirty work in the back alleys and keep quiet, and all the while protect them while they dance the night away. So, as you can see coming in, there are many people who are claiming the work, but many of those men and women who are bringing me pelts have claimed their one pelt, and I will probably never see them again during the hunt. I have very limited resources in terms of how much I can give you. So if I'm going to devote a flat sum, it needs to be in lieu of the bounty. I'm sure you can understand my meaning. And I have to keep them coming back with pelts. Otherwise, we are going to run out of hunters before the week is out.
And just to make sure, I'll do something to the pelts just so that if anyone comes behind us, they can't claim our stuff. All right? Or
very well.
That way you save a whole bunch of money and blah, blah, blah.
I mean, it doesn't sound like many people will be keen to come into this forest, to be honest. It sounds like it's treated as a bit of a death trap around here.
Most of the time, hunters typically do not go into the forest during the hunt. It is considered unwise. However, necessity dictates that I send someone to find this reconnaissance that Bernard has collected over the many months of traversing that place.
It'll also make it a lot easier so, we're not hauling around a whole bunch of wolf bodies or wolf pelts or whatever.
And I do not think that it would be wise for you to tarry in that place for too long.
On that, we both agree.
Yeah, that's fine by
So-
me. I guess the only thing would be as long as we're able to come back later, maybe, assuming we, I don't know, need a few gold tomorrow or the next night, assuming the hunt goes on for a few more days, we can still bring pelts outside of this little excursion.
Absolutely. Once you have completed this work for me, I would be happy to make sure that, and if you are successful, and if you prove to be effective at this, not just, getting in and out, but if my hunter if Conrad, who is the hunter that I'm sending with you, if he comes back to me with a glowing report of your performance, I would be happy to offer you a premium rate for any pelts that you bring in. The typical going rate for a pelt is 75 gold pieces. That is so that we can keep the farmers, the day laborers, and the aristocrats interested in helping us in our work. But I would be willing to offer you 100 gold pieces per pelt. If, and she puts a finger up, if this goes well. That means you bring back the journal, and you bring back Conrad in one piece.
Well, he's not going to be much of a burden, is he?
Oh no, he is a very capable hunter. In fact, I am in some ways putting my men behind by sending him with you. The hunters are primarily, these nights, the organizers of the hunts that are taking place on our streets. They are spending their days seeing to the laying of traps and snares and gathering bait and making sure that the rabble are well equipped to take down these beasts with pitchforks, axes, and scythes, and whatever else can be salvaged from the sewers and the back alleys of the city.
Well, it doesn't sound any more dangerous or ridiculous than some of the other things that we've done, so fuck it, I'm in.
True.
All right.
Very good. And she holds out a hand, looking to shake hands on this.
Petch kind of
That's all
looks
you.
around. Well, I mean, no one else has really stepped up as a leader since. Since the entire thing started. So he just kind of looks around for a second and then steps forward and shakes hands because
taking responsibility.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Go.
That means it's gonna be all your fault when it goes to shit, my man.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, it's on you now. All right.
Yep.
So she says, very good. Conrad has already gone ahead. I told him to await help at the farmhouse that is just south of the Three Odd Gables. If you would like to stop there on your way over there, be my guest. They're not in any particular rush. However, going into the forest at night is a little bit ill-advised. Though there is speculation that you may be less likely to encounter werewolves while in the forest, but if you are anywhere in the intermediary at night, you are more likely to encounter them there, for they are going to be moving from the woods to the city. This is their primary hunting ground, after all. Widow's Walk is something of a game trail these days, and she kind of laughs, very dry. kind of haughty laugh.
Well, you should probably get moving then. So, don't want to waste time.
I almost forgot. Are you by any chance carrying magical weapons, all of you?
Yeah.
And just looks at his dinged up longsword, and no, not really.
Val will kind of light bulb and be like, I have a sort of magical one, but I found this underwater. Do you have anybody who can, I don't know, tell me if this does anything cool? Break
She kind
out
of takes it.
the jeweled dagger.
She kind of takes it and she says, I actually might have someone in house who could help you understand what this is. You see, the Bidarte hunter family, they have a long history of using the magical arts in their work. They're the ones who are closest to the night folk. They're the ones that help us understand and gather intel, for that is their function. I wonder if Ixion is with us today. And I'll go out and find him. But anyway, in the meantime, she kind of goes to kind of like a credenza that is on the side, and it's like a large glass door cabinet, and she takes out a leather satchel. It's not large, it's just kind of small, and it looks like it's specifically fitted to hold 4 kind of test tube shaped vials. And you watch as she takes 4 test tubes and she loads them into each of the little slots before she pulls the flap over and she hands it to Fetch. And she says, these are 4 vials of the compound that Erasmus made for us. If you apply it to your sword for a very short amount of time, it lasts roughly a minute. It should be able to make your weapon more effective against lycanthropes.
All right then. If that dagger's magic, then I could use that.
Well, even if it's better to pack one hell of a punch. Lycanthropes are large creatures. They take quite a bit of, even from silver weapons, it takes quite a few hits to bring them down. Excuse me. And she kind of goes past the 4 of you, and she throws open the double doors, and she cries out at the top of her lungs, "Exien Bedarte! Get in my office now!" And I don't want to scream into the mic, so I'm just using stage yelling. But after she kind of leaves the door open behind you and she returns to explaining what it is, and she says, just make sure that you don't get in on your skin. It stings quite a bit.
Oh.
And essentially, as an action, because well, hold on. Applying a poison is an action, right?
Yes.
Yes. So as an action, you can apply that to a weapon, and then for 1 minute, that weapon is considered silver and deals an additional 1d6 acid damage to anybody that it hits.
Okay.
And you have 4 of those vials. All right. After a moment, hold on, let me pull up Ixion's character sheet because I forgot about him. Okay, so as you are waiting around, you see that a hunter who is, he is wearing just like the typical leather kind of duster coat, He has on both of his hands, it looks like these kind of metal gauntlets that are kind of going over his hands and metal shin guards as well. So kind of like a mix of half plate and leather armor going on. Doesn't appear to be unarmed, but he does have kind of slung over his shoulder and kind of a book holster, a very thick leather tome. And you can kind of see that the front of it that you can see is very cut up. It looks like it's been hit with something, possibly a clawed hand of some kind. And he says, yes, Helena, what can I do for you? And she kind of motions towards you, Val, and she says, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's Valerius. Valerius.
Mr. Valerius here has an item that he would like for you to take a look at. He says, well, I'm kind of pressed for time. It's not going to be for free, but I can squeeze it in right now. Would you happen to have 50 ducats on you? And he kind of gives a meaningful look at you.
Let's call it an IOU, and I'll
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage. You use the word IOU? Are you kidding me? Okay. He's like, he kind of looks
We're
at...
gonna be working here for quite a while.
Yeah.
I'll have plenty of opportunities to see you and pay you back in the future. I just need to know if this is going to work on our important mission into the woods.
Okay. So Helena kind of chimes in and says, Ixion, it's fine. If he dies and is not able to pay you back, I will cover it. But I'm confident that this group will actually be of use to us. And especially after the night that you had on the first night of the hunt, you need all the help you can get. And he kind of looks a little crestfallen. He says, you didn't have to bring that up. So he's like, what is the object that you would like me to see?
Val will bust out the jeweled dagger that he found on the ship.
Okay. It's still crusted over with sea life. It smells really funky because all the barnacles are probably dead by now. But he says, oof. He kind of flips over and says, it's definitely magical if it held up this well under the ocean for that long, clearly with all the barnacles growing on it. One moment. And you kind of watch as it doesn't take 10 minutes because he's too impatient. He's got shit to do, so he just casts Identify. And after a minute, you watch as the barnacles kind of crumble off, and you see, and I'll describe it again, it just looks like a Kinjal-style dagger that has a golden hilt, and the crossguard and the pommel are both kind of tipped with black pearls, and the blade is serrated. And he says, this dagger allows its wielder to pick up on things that it may not normally be able to see.
Okay.
It is safe to attune to, if that is what you were wondering.
Well, it's
Yeah, I
magical.
basically just wanted to make sure that nothing was gonna jump out at me.
Well,
It
it's
is
magical, and I can use it. So.
It is magical. It requires attunement. It is a dagger of blind sight.
Oh,
Ooh. Here, Fetch, you can have my +1 you can have my +1 magic dagger.
Okay.
I'm taking this.
All right.
So it requires attunement. Creature attune gains blind sight out to a range of 30 feet. It has a sawtooth edge and a black pearl nested in its pommel.
Yeah, that's big considering I
Rolling.
can't see shit.
yeah.
And blind sight's not bad either. That's like,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
blind
that's
sight
like the
is
good one.
kind of.
yeah, it's the best.
No, true sight is the best.
True sight is the best. Yeah, blind sight is like, I don't even need eyes to know where you are.
I know. It's almost like I had a character before that had 10 feet of blind sight and they were fucking busted.
Yes, they were. This is 30 feet of blind sight, so
And,
More is more.
and
All
we've
right.
got a paladin who could just be like, "Hey, nobody can see shit."
Yep.
Actually,
This is gonna-
no. He and any allies within 10 feet of him can actually
Yeah,
see
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But hey, magical darkness now.
Magic darkness, obstructed sight, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You can see everything. I can see all. All right. So Ixion kind of like hands it back to you and says, and he takes out a small kind of fountain pen and he writes on a slip of paper. You said that your name was Valerius.
Yes.
You owe me 50 gold pieces, and I will not forget. And he kind of tucks it into his tome, and he hurries out of the room. And he says, and he closes the door behind him. And Helena kind of whispers over to you, don't mind that one. His family used to be rich. His family used to be rich, but they've kind of fallen on hard times. So,
Oh.
Oh, don't worry. I'll remember whatever his name is once I get rich too. Don't worry. I will certainly be paying him back as soon as possible.
his name is Ixion Bidarte. He's not a bad kid, just a little anxious. Anyway, it is still early morning, she says, kind of looking at, you see that on the other side of the room, there's this very large kind of old grandfather clock, but it kind of looks like that very large astronomical clock that you can see in Prague. I don't know if you've seen pictures of that, but it not only tracks, the time, but it looks like it tracks the movements of the moon as well. And you can see that during it has like these two different hands that help change the phase of the moon, and they are perfectly lined up together, creating a full moon. And it looks like you guys still have a good probably 12 hours before sunset.
Just real quick, because I don't have this shit unlocked in D&D Beyond, so I gotta make a homebrew item. Is this a plus one magic dagger with like a special thing on it, basically?
I linked it in the Discord.
It is.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any like actual stats on it, so I don't know if it's just like a normal magic dagger with nothing.
No, it's a magic dagger, so it overcomes magical resistances. It does not have a bonus to attack or damage. It is just magic, and it gives you blind sight up to a range of 30 feet.
Okay. I don't know how the hell to even do just like a basic fucking whatever. I'll figure it out.
You can't just create like dagger of blind sight and then paste the description into it.
Yeah, if you do it as a homebrew item, you can.
Yeah, you could do it as a homebrew item.
Like it's I'll deal with it.
Yeah, it's from the Wikidot says that it's from Dungeon of the Mad Mage, so I don't know why it wouldn't. It may be because you don't have Mad Mage.
That's
thing.
we aren't. I can share that with y'all. I have all the content.
Yeah.
No worries. I'll just get this set up.
I think you did. I just think that Kai doesn't have it. I don't use D&D Beyond anymore. I use Wikidot.
Ooh, okay.
It's more efficient. And all my books are physical anyway. Anyway, moving on. So what do you guys want to do at this point?
And if going in there,
Yeah, let's head in.
going in there during the day is probably safer. We can hide during sunset.
Okay. So Conrad is on the, so you can, if you're looking for him, you're kind of like walking down the road this way, and you see a man who is kind of dressed. Hold on, let me look at what he actually looks like so I can describe him. Objects and tokens. Okay. All right, so he's wearing kind of like a fine blue overcoat with a collar and kind of like I don't know what that thing is called. That well, let me just move you guys over. Oh, jeez, so many maps. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna have to. There we go. Tenenbaum Woods 1. Okay. Here we are, and here you guys are. Roughly a few minutes. So this is what Conrad looks like. Fine blue overcoat. He's got a bandolier. He appears to be armed with, it looks like an oversized meat cleaver with that firearm attached to it, but he also appears to have several pistols kind of in the belts that are all across him, kind of pirate style. Let me see how many. 6. Okay. Alrighty. So he's kind of like leaning up against the house that is on the outskirts of the woods, and he kind of sees you for approach, and he kind of like makes eye contact with you, expecting you to. You're probably the only people he's seen today, and he just says, "Ho there. You lot are the only people who are stupid enough to come strolling this way. I'm assuming you're the ones that Helena sent. Yes?
Yep.
Very good. Let's get this shit show on the road. I'm not exactly excited for this little outing."
I don't think
Could have
anybody
fooled
is,
me.
guy.
Oops, I accidentally opened up Ebonet's character sheet. Rip. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on with I don't know what's going on with the token settings, but for some reason it's not saving. Yeah, that's so stupid.
I've just gotten used to manually updating mine every time we sneak into a new map.
That's what I'm gonna have to do. So everybody just manually update your hit point bars so that I can keep track of your hit points. Can you guys even see your HP bars?
Yep.
Okay.
So
yeah, just click the gear, and for bar 3, just put your maximum HP in the right hand column and your current HP in the left, and you should be good to go. All right. So without a word, Conrad just kind of, as soon as you all kind of like get close to him, he just kind of stands in between the two groups of you, and just kind of looks at you all. And before you enter the edge of the forest, he says, "Be silent. Do not speak. Do not make any unnecessary noises. If we do this right, we may be able to get in and out without having to fire a shot. I guarantee you that if I have to pull the trigger at any point, we are probably going to have to run out of here as fast as we can."
Maybe try to avoid the firearm unless things are exceptionally dire. I think as long as we don't get ambushed, we should be able to handle any stragglers fairly quietly.
All right, let's do this. Stay close to me. All right, so Conrad begins to lead you through the forest, and it is... Let me get the mood right. It is dark and tangled, and you have to you can see that through the brush and the ferns that are kind of growing everywhere, a mist is flowing through, and there are certain spots where you can easily move through. They look like game trails or trails where huntsmen or woodcutters or whoever it is that goes into this forest typically use. And there are several clearings that are in the woods. And you kind of, moving through the bush with Conrad, you come upon this clearing here. And in it, you see that there are scraps of clothing and chains that are broken, with manacles that are also broken.
Oh.
and he kind of looks down, and he, you see as he kind of like from one of the broken manacles, he picks out a piece of bloody werewolf fur that is still attached to a piece of skin, and he kind of sniffs it, and he rubs it between his gloved fingers, and he stands back up, and he turns around, and he says, "That's a few days old," which means that it's probably not that far away. So let's all move as quickly as we can. We are trying to move to the northeast, which is where we believe that Bernard was whenever he was attacked, if he was attacked. So let's move quietly.
Okay. Lead the way.
Okay, so I'm going to need you guys to all roll stealth checks, if you please.
Completely horrible.
Okay, that's not bad. Let me see, we got a 22, we've got a 12, we've got a 17, and time for honesty. Yikes.
Oh no.
Oh shit. Okay. And oops, well, Conrad rolled a 7. Not total, but on the dice. So it looks like all that shit about being quiet. 1,
Yep,
2,
I
3,
know.
4, 5. Wait, there are 5 of you. Okay. So whenever you guys, let's see, I'm just going to move all of you. You're following Conrad through the bush, and you make it. Hold on. There are a couple of instances where you kind of hear a loud snap, and you kind of are like, "What was that?" And you kind of turn around and you see Honesty sheepishly look down, and she had stepped on directly onto a large dry branch that was almost perfectly placed over a divot that was caused by 2 roots, which provided the perfect acoustics for a very dry snapping sound that would carry from a long way. And from his botched roll as well, Conrad, for the most part, he trips and falls. And he goes, "Oof, damn it." And he kind of curses a little bit louder than he should. He moves you guys into this clearing here. I'm just going to say that honesty is right there. And as you kind of come in here, you see that the clearing is grass. And there are these flowers that are growing over there, but you very strangely see this pile of sticks that is just placed here, and it looks like it's been kind of woven into each other. And let me see something. Val, you detect something moving in the bushes here and here.
Okay. Val will just quietly signal to the group, point, like he'll kind of stick a hand out as like a stop, right? And then he'll point at this one, and he'll point at that one, and then he'll motion for people to draw their swords, and then I'm gonna come hide in the bushes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, but before you hide, let's roll some initiative.
Ew. Okay.
At least we're not surprised.
At least you're not surprised, because yeah, that would have sucked. Oh shit! Hold on. Well, actually, hold on. Can I? I wonder. Let me do this guy layer, and let's see what happens if I do this. Oh, cool! It does change it. So I can put him back into the DM layer. Okay. Alrighty. And then let's do turn and add turn for honesty. Honesty does not do too bad. And let's get the battle music going while we get initiative ready to rock and roll.
Ooh.
First werewolf fight, guys. Yay. Man, Conrad really does talk a lot of shit because this man is not on top of his game.
Mm-mm.
Better not get himself killed. I'm gonna be pissed if he makes us out of that 400 gold. I'm gonna kill him if he dies.
Okay, honestly, actually didn't do too bad. All right, now for the werewolves. Six. Okay, so as Val kind of motions for you guys to stop and he tells you to draw your swords, you start to see plant vegetation just like moving in those spots. These creatures know that their ambush has been thwarted. And you see movement kind of ambiguously happening. You still don't see them. The fog is very thick, and the plant life around here is also thick as well. There are ferns that are kind of carpeting this whole place, which is causing a lot of cover, not to mention the trees and the vines and the undergrowth that's all over this place. So, Fetch, what are you doing?
Well,
You know you're under attack, but you can't see anything.
Mm-mm.
alright, so to step up here, kind of interpose between Conrad and one of the things,
Mm-hmm.
and to just hold action to like grab the werewolf if it comes out and just like throw it into whatever this mound of stuff is.
Six. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, Touchstone, what are you doing?
Everybody's being. Shoot. I'll hold my action until one of them appears.
Okay, what action are you holding?
Actually, never mind. I'll just dodge this turn.
Okay. Put a little shield on you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Honesty is going to kind of position herself in the middle of the group, and she is going to light up the first werewolf that she sees with an Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right. Let me see. Hide from others. Luna. No. Hold on. My dog's trying to eat a glass bead. Stop. That is not a treat. Give me that. Where did you find these? Where are these from? Crazy dog. She's 8 weeks old. She doesn't know everything can kill her. All right. Okay. So, Fetch, you are going to get your wish. I don't know if it was a wish. I don't know if that's an accurate statement. But kind of you see moving through the vegetation here, this werewolf, which as it kind of comes out, it doesn't quite meet your expectations. You've seen illustrations of werewolves before. This guy looks like kind of like a half-formed thing, almost like a, it's not like a wolf head tacked onto a man body. It's like a shaggy head of hair, thick, rippling muscles, but an almost kind of simian-looking face, long canines, flat nose. The ears are pointed, you can see through the hair, but it looks more like a very scary, pointy-eared gorilla than a werewolf. Mostly walking on all fours, but you can see that it is, as it kind of gets out and stands to attack Conrad, that it can also stand on 2 legs. So you've been holding your action to grab the werewolf, so...
Yeah, grab and kind of like toss it into this pile of sticks.
Okay. Make an athletics check, and it's going to contest the roll, and if it wins, then it's not going to be moved. Yeah. And it's well, I'm going to roll it anyway and just see what happens, but it can't possibly succeed, not even on a natural 20. No, so it's going in the sticks.
Oh.
Preventing damage.
Yes.
Rather than...
So it's almost like...
just as good as healing.
Yeah. Yes, it is. So it kind of lunges out, and it stands up and kind of puffs its chest out, and is about to kind of come down and bite, and it kind of goes... and it almost like chomps down onto Conrad, but you grab it almost by like the neck and the arm and the shoulder and just fling it over there. And
don't quite have the advantage that he's used to, but...
Yep. Not quite, but still effective.
Yes.
All right. The next werewolf...
since doesn't honesty get her thing?
Oh yeah,
since
yeah, she does. And she gets 2 rat-a-tat-tats of Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those will hit. That werewolf is going to take 20 points of force damage. Shoo!
Nice.
So it's almost like you throw the werewolf in the air, and honestly, it's kind of like Duck Hunter. She just... and he would have landed right here, but if it not for the Eldritch Blast, I mean, that's what kind of pushes him into that spot. That's a good hit. And she kind of goes, yes! And that's whenever a howl erupts, and... let me see how far he can get. Okay. As he comes charging through the undergrowth. And he is going to make 1 attack at Touchstone. He's going to roll his claw attack at Touchstone. And that is a 14. I don't believe that hits you.
No.
And then he is going to try to bite Valerius. That is a 19 to hit.
Uncanny dodge. That will hit.
Uncanny dodge. Okay. Oh wait, that's a D8. You take 9 points of piercing damage. And I need you...
4?
At that, yeah.
Wait, is that reduced?
Yeah, to 4. Because you uncanny dodged it. I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh no, I'm not good at that.
Dang.
Okay. It hurts.
Lovely.
Will I get to make Pendejo finally?
Maybe. All right, it is Conrad's turn, and he is going to take that nice little meat cleaver of his, and he is going to charge forward, and he is going to hack into, and you see, like in a fluid motion, he just takes out that a vial of that clear liquid and just smashes it onto the axe, and he is going to take 2 of his attacks against the werewolf. Both of those hit. So let's see. That is going to be 2d6 plus 6 plus another 2d6. So 4d6 plus 6.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, like that shit that they put on there, it doesn't play. Ooh, good rolls. Okay, so 10, 14,
Fuck.
17.
I'm over here looking
he's
up
at
fucking lycanthropy
37
and how to deal with
damage
it because I'm pretty sure I just got
so
fucking
far.
infected. God damn it.
And you just see blood spray everywhere.
That's gonna be
as,
tough in this
he
world.
just hacks into this creature, and it howls in pain, and you can see kind of as he drags the axe from the wounds, there is this white vapor that kind of comes from the cuts as it begins to scald and bubble. Whatever it is doing to this creature, it looks like it is doing some kind of acid damage to it. All right, Val, it is your turn.
I guess I'm just gonna go with Yeah, I don't like being here, so I'm going to action attack with my new dagger. Oh no, it's less powerful than my other one. Oh, by the way, Fetch, do you have the +1 dagger? Are you using that?
Yes.
Alright, so
Will be
yeah,
with
then I
that.
need to use this, because I don't have that anymore.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Natural 20, beautiful.
That is a really good hit because that also
You get
doubles your sneak attack too.
Yeah.
So
That's
let's see.
26 plus 8.
26 plus 16. So
26 plus 16.
Mhm.
Fuck. 30, 42?
Yep.
Yeah, 42 points of damage. Shit. So narrate that for me. How does that actually work? Like, so what does it look like?
I will say
natural.
that Val gets like bitten, and after the bite, he sort of like, I guess, uses the like momentum from like the hit to kind of like turn, pivot, pull his dagger, and then slide around and plunge it into the side of the werewolf's head. I don't know if it's gonna kill it, but it should do pretty significant damage going into his skull.
So here's what I'm going to say happens. It's not going to hit him in the skull because it's too tall for you to do that. I rolled on the lingering injury table for the creature, and I landed on broken ribs. So instead of hitting it in the side of the head, you hit it in the side.
That works.
And you've broken his ribs. So he's basically got an internal injury. So whenever he attempts an action in combat, he has to make a con save, and on a failed save, he loses his action, and he can't take reactions until the start of his next turn. So,
and then I'm going to bonus action disengage, slip through, come here.
Okay. Hold on. Lingering internal injury. Okay, so he has to make a con save at the start of his next turn if he wants to do anything at all. All right. Now for the final appearance, the werewolf that has been in the woods this entire time, kind of waiting and looking, is going to let out a howl and kind of like all fours barrel towards Fetch. Oops. And it makes it just here. And it's going to make both of its attacks against you, sir.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Nope.
Which I don't believe works. So it snaps at you with its mouth and it misses, and then a 15 on the claw attack.
Nope. That does not hit.
Nope. So it gave itself away. It showed its hand, and because of that, it missed entirely. And it is now your turn, sir.
I forget. Are we doing flanking or
We are
rules?
doing flanking, yes.
All right. In that case, gonna step over here
Okay.
and good old double snicker snack.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh. Man.
And you know what that means.
Yes, I do
Yep.
know what that means.
So we're just gonna do it at
Divine
level
spite.
1. Just
Oh,
gonna
come
do it at level
on.
1.
Don't blue
No.
ball me like that.
I mean, okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Blow level 2 spell slot. So that'll be 8d8, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're level 5, so yeah, it would be 4d8 at level 2.
So, and I
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So, oh, I did not have the divine favor rolling, so ignore that one.
Okay, so no radiant damage, yeah.
Yeah.
So just
So
12,
48
48. Jesus Christ.
with a little dagger.
With a little dagger, you just Goku punch the shit out of him. All right.
It's called Dragon Punch. Thank you.
All right, very well done. Touchstone, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
okay. Ooh, this one is heavily injured, I imagine.
Oh wait. Sorry, it was 59 because that second.
59? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't add the second attack,
Oh,
which
shit.
is only
Okay.
11 damage.
God
Only
damn. You nearly killed this thing in one hit. That's a CR level 3 monster.
Yeah.
And he's like, and what about it?
I'm a paladin that got a crit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happens. All right. Go ahead, Touchstone.
So I better not chance it with the. They're probably not that wise. Yeah, let's go with Toll the Dead.
Okay. He doesn't have all of his hit points. He's very damaged. You can kind of see that it's like, and it's got a broken rib sticking out of its side, and it's actually kind of like trying to hold itself together. He rolled an 11.
Oh, perfect. Not a wise man.
Perfect. How does Toll the Dead kill things
You
in the
know,
way that you cast it?
I'll say it's a very low sound. And then you kind of just see the moon flash in his eyes, and then his head explodes.
See the true moon, devil.
Mhm.
And blood water balloon. All right. Brutal. Honesty is well done. Honesty is going to step to the right and kind of passive. Well, she's kind of sarcastically just as finger guns. She does one Eldritch Blast to this guy over here, and she's going to cast the other one at this guy right there. So let's see. First one is going to be almost dead guy. Oh, yeah. She just kind of spirit guns this guy to death. She blows a hole straight through him, and it just falls over just without a sound, dead. Oh, wait. Whoops. Wrong thing. which is around 13. Oh, yep. That is a shitty roll if I ever seen one. Oh, it's because it's a 1 on the dice. Yeah, 4 points of damage. That one is still up.
But it doesn't have advantage on the attack. Important.
Nope. Yep. And so it is going to attack Conrad. It has its 2 attacks. Okay. The claw attack is an 18, so that is going to hit. And the bite attack is a natural 20.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So let's do the claw attack first. That is 7 points of damage. No, wait, 9 points of slashing damage. Oh wait, I don't have his hit points keyed in. Hopefully it's not a lot. Oh yeah, he's tough. Ish. Okay, and then now we have the natural 20. Let's see. 8 plus 7 is 15. Yikes. And he's going to make a con save too. Ooh. Hold on, I'm making a note. So the creature kind of stands up, brushing its, and just kind of like shakes the twigs and stuff out of its shaggy hair, and kind of just stands up and tries to go in for what it originally intended to do. And it clamps down onto Conrad's shoulders with its claws digging into his flesh. And then it just kind of goes in and just, and then just bites deeply into his neck. And he screams as it does so. And it is now his turn. And he is going to just wildly slash at the thing with his axe. He rolled a natural 22. Go on, man.
Dang.
How much HP does this thing have? Yeah, let's just say that he kills it because the natural 20 alone is enough. So as it's like gnawing into the left side of his neck, he grabs it by the back of his hair and he just hacks into the side of its head over and over and over again. And even long after the creature lies dead on the ground, he just continues to hack and hack and hack and hack until you all start to kind of look at each other. He's not screaming in hysterics or anything like that, but he is definitely giving in to the overkill. And eventually, he just buries the axe into the creature and he leaves it there. And you look up and he turns around and looks at all of you. And he's covered from head to toe, at least the front of him anyway, in bright crimson blood. And he just kind of looks at all of you and he says, I think we need to be getting on. If you don't mind.
Going to walk up and drop, say, 10 points of lay on hands on Conrad. It's kind of a nasty hit there.
How much of that is your blood and the werewolves?
I assure you, most of it is his.
But he still gets 10 points of heat.
These things don't have any weird diseases or anything. You've got a lot of open wounds, and that thing bled all over you.
It's not the blood that you need to be worried about. It's the teeth. And he kind of...
exactly do you mean by that?
He takes the collar of his coat and he kind of pulls it over the wound on his neck. And he says, it's not a sure thing, but the curse of the werewolf, the lycanthrope, is transferred through the teeth. If you are bitten, there's a non-zero chance that you will become one of them whenever you can no longer resist the call of the curse.
Oh, damn! I didn't prepare him today.
Oh, you guys are healers, right? That should be easy enough to take care of. One of you do one of your fancy magic things and get this bite
I
shit out of me.
didn't prepare this thing to do that today.
He kind of turns around rather angrily, and he looks at all of you. Let me kill the music and let me put the more appropriate stuff on there. He's like, "You don't get it, do you, you outsiders? If we could simply wish the curse away with magic, do you really think that we would have to go through all of this during the hunt? The curse doesn't simply just go away with magic. No one knows how to get rid of it. We live with it as best we can. Why do you think why do you think the asylum beneath Phlegethon is full? I have friends who are down there who have given their lives to preparing the city for this day, and they are currently writhing as animals in the dark and the filth beneath that place. If you are infected, the best thing you can do is hope for a quick death.
So what exactly is the end goal here? You just, if all of these lycanthropes are your friends and family, the goal is to just kill them all off, give them a swift death, and hope that you don't get bitten in the process? What are you going to do?
The goal is to wait out the hunt and protect those who are not infected from those who are, until such time they can regain their true selves. This is not the permanent state of affairs. There is time. But once you turn, if you turn, and he kind of like narrows his eyes at you, Valerius, noting that he knows that you were bitten. If you turn during the hunt, you stay turned during the hunt.
Well, I guess we'll just both have to hope that doesn't happen now, won't we?
Oh,
Well,
the wind
Looks
makes
like
it
we both
extra.
have a secret to keep now, yeah? Or is this something that you all are there many other bitten wardens of the lodge there?
When I return to the lodge with my mission completed, if I am infected, I fully intend to take my own life. And if you indeed are infected, I hope that you have the decency to do the same. He kind of pulls his coat closer together and continues moving on to the northwest.
well, I guess we'll find out in a few hours when the sun goes down, won't we? Well, let's keep going.
Yes.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Lead the way.
And he does.
So actually, just really quickly, because I have never even I don't really know anything about this out of character. Is this like just like one and done sort of thing? Like I got bitten, so like I'm gonna turn, or is there like some sort of like a contest over time that has to happen?
So yeah, I'm glad that you asked that so that we can kind of get that out of the way. Let me clear the initiative board real quick because I was in the process of doing that. Let me go to.
I'm
my
sure I
notes
can
on how...
RP around it, but like I don't know.
Yeah,
I need
yeah.
to understand just how set in stone this is.
So there, I don't want to sit there and like be ambiguous about whether or not there is something you can do. There is something that you can do to keep the curse in check, but you're going to have to figure out what that is. As to whether or not this is a one and done kind of thing, it is not. The way that it works is that if you are infected with lycanthropy, a player does not immediately turn. Each night after the night of the attack, the player must make a con save against the transformation.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to give me all the details. I just wanted to know like if it was something I needed to.
Well, you do need to know this stuff. So this is how it works. On the first night, the DC is 8. and then it increases by 1 each subsequent night. On a failure, you transform and become an NPC under my control until the curse is lifted. On a success, you gain your appearance slightly changes, and you gain a bestial feature that affects your appearance and your behavior. And these are actually benefits to you. Obviously, if people see you, they're going to be like, oh shit, that guy's infected, get him. But if you manage to keep them hidden, you actually get some bonuses to your character. Like the first one is bestial claws, like your nails grow and you get +2 to unarmed attacks and damage. The second phase, for some reason, is marked as a number 3 for some strange reason. Anyway, you get a little bonus to your perception checks that rely on sight and hearing. You gain a bite attack the next night. Then you gain the aggressive feature, but it also comes with the chance that you may go berserk and just attack people. And the fifth one is, I'm not going to spoil it for you because
This
it's,
motherfucker turned me into a chihuahua, you bastard.
Yeah.
Kind of kick one of the corpses.
but after 10 successful rolls, the curse becomes unbearable, and the next night will result in a transformation. So you're going to have to figure out a way to lift the curse. And this is only during the hunt. Like whenever, normally what happens with lycanthropy is whenever it's basic werewolf lore. Like whenever the moon turns full, you transform. You can't control it. You can also control, whenever it takes over after the hunt, then you would be able to transform at will. But whenever you transform at will, you become chaotic evil whenever you are using those abilities. So you have to basically be a murderous asshole that will take every opportunity to kill and eat and maim. So
All right, that could be fun. That could be fun.
Not a fun. It's not a fun, but also like during the hunt is only whenever you would become, an NPC, because you basically it drives them into a frenzy. They are not like typical D&D werewolves where they're conscious of themselves.
So what I'm understanding is it is a sort of a contest, but it's also an inevitability to a point. Unless of course we discover some in-character stuff that allows me to, but we gotta unravel the net a little bit.
Yes, and I want to be very clear. This is not like an inevitable thing. There is something that is out there that can help you manage the curse, but you have to figure out what that is. You have to ask around. You've got to find it. You've got to pay the price.
Got it. All right, cool. That's more than enough.
Okay,
That's cool. More than enough for me.
Because I didn't want to be like, you got lycanthropy, sucks, dude. And I didn't.
That's okay. I would have accepted that. That's fine. I just wanted to know like the story sort of implications and like whether or not there was anything like. Yeah, I just didn't know the mechanics behind it, basically. So
yeah, well, I also didn't want you to feel like, well, I'm fucked. Like this character is going to go away. Like you can manage the condition, so you just have to figure out exactly how to do that.
Cool.
Okay. All right, but Conrad doesn't know that. As far as the hunters are aware, getting infected is a death sentence. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, you can take it.
No, I am good.
Okay, cool. All righty. So, where's that? Wait, what are you talking about? Nah. Okay, well, Baton Rouge. All right. So Conrad kind of, how many lay on hands did you hand him?
10.
10. Okay. Wait a minute. Where's the fucking map? There it is. Okay. And most of you are pretty unscathed. That's kind of impressive.
I mean, we
those crits helped.
Those crits came near one shot 2 of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that was a deadly encounter. You guys are pretty good. I know. It would've
We're
been.
also
Yeah.
pretty fucking deadly.
Yeah, buddy.
True.
Okay.
Only 3 more, and we'll be losing money on this venture.
Oh, we gotta skin these guys.
No, we don't.
We don't
That's
have to-
kind of the whole point
Oh, right.
of getting the flat fee. We don't have to carry around bloody carcasses.
Okay.
So,
All right. So eventually, you kind of are led by Conrad to another part of the woods, which has a stream running through it. And well, hold on. Hold on. I forgot to bring the token over. Let me go grab that real quick, and then I'll drop you guys down where you're supposed to be. Oh, copy. God damn it. Why can't you just put the freaking drop down at a place where I can see everything? Okay, I'm back. Okay. So you guys you kind of do like this weird horseshoe kind of movement through the woods because Conrad doesn't know exactly where he's going, but he does know that and whenever you ask, he says, "We're looking for the stream." That is where Bernard said that he would keep his camp. That's where he would be staying. Not with an actual camp, mind you. It leaves too much of a trace, but this is where we should start looking for him. So we found the stream. I think the best thing for us to do would be to fan out and search from here. If you run into any problems, come back to the stream and we will rendezvous here. Just call out and we will do the best we can to defend ourselves. We are pretty deep into the forest here, so a run for it to the edge would be quite difficult.
Are we splitting up right now?
Do you have a better idea?
Stick together. Don't get mauled immediately.
If we
Yes,
stick together.
our payment is contingent on your survival, and
Yes.
based on that previous encounter, I think it's probably best that we all stick together. I mean, do you not agree? Would you rather be caught out in the open with your pants down next time we come across 3 of these things?
I would rather spend as little time in the forest as possible. If we stay together, that is more time that we will need to search this location.
Since you know what you're looking for, Fetch comes over and kind of tugs the ring of water walking off and hands it to Conrad. Look, just wear this. You can walk on the water. And, those wolves won't be able to keep up with you if you're on top of the water. So just stay safe over there, okay? It is not an attunement item.
Okay.
So he can just pop it on and walk on the water.
Okay. He kind of like the stream is not that deep. It's only like about a foot at the deepest, but I guess that would be kind of difficult to run through if you were on all fours. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys look around and see if you can find anything interesting while I nom on this pizza real fast.
All right.
Okay. Let's investigate. Also, before we do anything else, just in case, I'm going to give myself some guidance while we do this. And a vigilant blessing.
All right.
I might hand the
we investigate?
Or y'all good? Yeah. Anybody else want a guidance?
Well, I mean,
you
what
can only do
exactly
one
are
guidance
we?
at a time, right?
Yeah.
So you tell me. So you tell me what it is you are looking for, and I will tell you what to roll. Your overall objective.
We're looking for what we're looking for, right? The bodies,
Right.
anything
So
that could look
how
like
would
this.
Yeah.
So how would you go about tracking that down?
So, having spent his younger years as, out in the woods quite a few times, often without shelter, Fetch would probably be looking for signs of like, you know, these berries were picked over here, so, or this mushroom was carved off, or, stuff like that. Stuff that just looks slightly out of place for what would otherwise be a survival situation.
Yeah.
Cough, cough. Give me survival. It's my one of my better.
Maybe
Please,
medicine. I don't. Oh,
please
sorry.
let me roll survival. Okay, so go ahead and roll survival. Because like the way that this is not going to work is that, I mean, like you guys can look at the map. Nope. But you don't have to like place your token exactly where the clues are. You can just like tell me this is the skill I would like to use to find a sign of Mr. Zabalo, and then I will tell you.
Yeah. So Fetch is not familiar with the growth patterns of stuff around here, so it's just kind of all, yeah, that's a mushroom. Yeah, those are berries.
I guess I don't know any makeshift hiding places or attempts at cover or camouflage or anything like that. Cough, stealth, cough.
That would be more of a perception thing because you're looking for it, right?
Yeah, I was trying to cheese it though. Whatever, 22 is not bad.
Okay.
Maybe I'll look for, I don't know, dried blood, pieces of what could be discernible flesh or body parts thrown about.
Okay. So that would be a perception check as well, but that's kind of like a higher DC. So let's see what you get.
Okay.
So, Val, I moved your token over here because you actually find.
Guidance, but it's probably not going to help too
Yeah,
much.
you don't find evidence of dry blood anywhere. You actually find what looks like a shelter that is made of sticks that are woven together, and they're kind of like patched together with undergrowth and vines and leaves to try to make it look as natural as possible. However, whenever you kind of like look through it, you can see that it actually disguises a pretty large large for just being out in the woods, like a large kind of almost tent that is made out of this kind of wicker. And it has been smashed to pieces. And kind of looking in, you see that there are small kind of paper cases of rations that are laying about. You see that there are canteens that are there as well. You also see that there is this kind of foul smelling substance. It's kind of like a waxy thing that is apparently smeared on the inside of the blind, essentially, is what it is. It's a werewolf blind.
Oh.
Okay, now that I have found the place itself, is there anything relevant to our search? The documents or any bodies or anything?
Make yet another perception check at advantage, please. Okay, 18 is more than enough. So kind of like looking around this area, you know that this is where someone was staying and staying recently. The rations are less than a month old. And you kind of like are looking around and you see in this little hollow of the trees here a body.
Okay. I don't guess the lodge has any like particular garb or anything.
So it is wearing very similar garb to what the hunters wear. He's wearing in particular a leather overcoat that looks like it also is fitted to a leather chest piece that is kind of fastened together with these 5 buckles that go down the chest.
Well, I guess I searched this boy. I guess I'm looking for a journal, and she said he might have a handful of important or valuable items. So
Yeah.
let me see if he has
So
anything that matches that description.
yeah, so let me get to my notes. Okay, so what you find is that you have the coat, and as you're kind of like looking through it, you see that the inside of it is scratched with these kind of swirling runes that kind of go throughout the length of it, kind of forming this intricate network throughout it. You see, not very far from him, there is a pistol, there is a musket, and there is a powder horn and a pouch of bullets.
Hmm.
There is also what looks like these pair of goggles. They are these kind of, they look like they're made out of this, the lenses themselves are made out of this black glass, and they're held in place with these kinds of circular silver discs that are actually quite beautifully engraved, excuse me. And they have an adjustable leather strap that kind of goes, that connects them, that makes it possible for a person to wear them on their face.
Goggles of night vision. Perfect to go with your blind sight.
Any notebook or ledger or anything? I think that's what we were originally looking for.
And as you kind of like lift the body up, you do see a small kind of satchel that was on his back, and in it you do find some older rations, a water skin that has long dried, and a journal that is it's got a lock on it, but it's not like, I mean, you're a thief, like, you know good locks whenever you see them. This is the equivalent of the kind of lock journal that you can buy at Barnes and Noble for $12. You know, it's nothing super fancy, but it is a journal. It is on a body that resembles a hunter. It's kind of difficult to see what he looks like because his face is torn off, but you know, this checks all the boxes.
I'm tempted to skim it, but I doubt it's anything particularly relevant. What did she
How do
say
you
that
know?
she said it was just notes on the forest, right?
She said something to that effect, yeah. If you don't quite
Did
remember, I don't
anybody
know.
spot me coming here?
I don't know. Everybody make a perception check.
Yeah, did anybody spot me like making my way into it? Because like I feel like I've been just like hogging all the
Fetch is over there across the river. Touchstone is over there. Honesty is, what is Honesty doing? Perception. Nope. She's doing whatever Honesty is doing right now. You are all alone, my dude.
All right, I wasn't gonna do it, but since you hit me with a how do you know, now I'm kind of curious if there is something relevant in this journal. So I'm gonna actually make a point to like pick the lock on it rather than breaking it, so that way I can relock it afterwards, like nothing happened.
Make a thieves tools check.
That one, proficiency, 8.
8. Like
You
I
said it was a
said,
shitty lock.
it's like a really shitty lock. I would say even just like with your wait, what's that math? Do you have that set up? Do you have that set up right?
I don't know. I just did it I literally used the macro from D&D Beyond.
No.
So I use Thieves Tools, use, and then it says roll formula, 1d20 plus ability plus proficiency.
The ability for Thieves Tools is dexterity.
Oh,
this
I used
is telling me
wisdom.
that it's wisdom. Yeah.
I clicked the wrong thing. My bad.
Yeah. There we go. That
I
one
mean,
says
it's
Dex. Okay.
I mean, it still only would have raised it by 3, but
you don't even need to use like the good picks. You literally just have like a tiny jiggle lock or jiggle pick that just and it just comes open.
You are the lock picking lawyer taking on any master lock.
All you have to do is just smash it with another master lock. So yeah, what do you want to know? What do you want to skim?
So I'm gonna skim, and I'm specifically going to look for info on a couple of things. Lycanthropy effects, the big boy himself, I forget his name, but I'm sure Val remembers. And
Big werewolf.
Yeah. Well, that was the second thing. Yeah. The big werewolf.
Okay,
and
so
yeah, just start with that. I'm gonna try to think of because like there was something I want to like be able to figure out if there's any information here that like ties or like brings any light to the like werewolf threat in general, right? Because something feels weird about this. So I just want to, because like it seems like half of their fucking society is like possessed with lycanthropy based on like the fact that like that big inner city, that big intersection in the city is always getting assaulted, even though it's within the gate, right? Like I don't know, there's like little things that Val's been picking up, so he wants to try to see if there's any like I don't know, crazy surprising truths in there. That would be like the number 3 thing to look for, but so we could just skim for that kind of stuff.
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll investigation to see what you can pick up just from skimming over everything.
Okay. I'm so bad at investigation. Fuck. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Shoot. Yes, dude.
Ooh, yes. All right. It's man, the algorithm is with y'all tonight. Okay. So you actually learn 4 pieces of information. Let me hold on. The first thing that you notice is that Zabala, which is his last name, has been observing the creature that is known as Lebet, which is the Mordentian word for the beast. He notes that it is twice the size of its standard
what
werewolf.
Did you say its name was? The big beast? Sorry.
They just call it the beast. That's
okay, got it.
Lebet. Lebet is the French word for the beast. So it's a little bit different. So he notes that he just has musings in it that the entire spread of the curse comes from this creature, and it will never be fully resolved until the creature has been killed, though no one has been successful in doing so. So that's piece of information number 1, is that the curse, the particular strain of lycanthropy that comes from this creature, that is descended from this creature, can only be removed after it is killed. So that's piece of information number 1. The other piece of information is that he has confirmed the rumor that Lebet will not travel beyond the boundaries of the forest. Number 3 is that he has found 2 interesting locations in the forest. The first is a place of standing stones that is somewhere in the northern portion of the forest that he has discovered Lebet is is drawn to. So it will absolutely go there. Like if you want to find it, that's where it is found. He does not know. You can see that he has sketched some of these, like a design on some of these stones, and it's a very strange looking kind of motif. There's this kind of swirling, almost fossilized sea creature look to each of these stones, and he says that you know them by their green glow. and that is he draws like a map of the forest, and it is somewhere in the northernmost reach of it. It's about 100 feet from the sea, he says.
Oh,
He
lovely.
also notes, and this is the fourth piece of information, that there is a lake that is not very far from the boundary of the Three Odd Gables that is surrounded by dead, blackened grass. And it has in the center of that, well, it's not really a lake, it's a pond. And in the center of that small pond is a stone. And he says that the water itself is poisonous to the earth. It is somewhat harmful to those who touch it, but Lebet will go nowhere near the pond. He notes that he discovered this by accident. Whenever he outran the creature, he jumped into the water, and it burned him slightly, as if he had been burned by the sun. And the creature refused to cross the water, even though it was only about 3 feet deep. And those are the 4 pieces of information that you get from your natural 20 perception or investigation check. So, and I will write all of those down for you. So let's see.
Yeah, I got most of it noted, but yeah, definitely throw yours in too in case I missed something.
Yeah, so the lycanthropy cannot be cured completely until the beast is killed. He's confirmed that the beast will not leave the forest's perimeter. Strange stones in the north of the woods. That attract it. And small pond near the Three Odd Gables. It will not go near.
Three Odd Gables. That's the place. That's the lodge, right? Or am I thinking of something?
No,
Where's
so the three
Gables?
the Three Odd Gables. Let's go back to the map. So the Three Odd Gables is this small collect. It's number 1.
It's the place. Okay, I knew
map.
it was up here on the north somewhere. So it's the place just right on the inside of the safe zone, I guess.
It's right at the forest edge.
Got it. Okay. So that's on the south side, and then the place it's attracted to is on the north side, you were saying.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Actually, how about this? Because I'm kind of like looking back at the map, and I don't want to send you guys off the map. Let's say that the place that it's attracted to is down here, where closer to where between the T and the E, right? And the place that it is repulsed by is by the Three Odd Gables.
Okay, fair enough. Let me adjust my notes. Somewhere in that would be the southwestern Tenebrarum Woods. Tenebrarum Woods.
Tenebrarum, however you want to say it. It just means darkness. At least I think it means darkness.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's good information to know. But obviously we don't necessarily need to let the lodge know that we have this at the moment. So I will refasten the lock on the book, and I will just for ease of carrying everything, strap the goggles around my forehead, not like actually putting them on or attuning to them, just kind of like, putting them around my forehead to look cool and to not have to carry so many things. I will scoop the coat, the musket, the handgun, and the powder, and I think that's everything that you said.
Okay.
And I'll just sort of like unwieldily like carry them in my arms as I like make my way out of this little thing here with the fucking book kind of sticking out of the back of my waistband.
Yeah. Do me a favor and go ahead and make a thieves' tools check just so that we can see how well you put the lock back.
Oh, got it. Actually use Dex this time. Use tool, Dex, proficiency, roll, 14. Above average.
14. It's a shitty lock. It's passable.
Maybe the werewolves got curious.
Maybe it got damaged whenever he was disemboweled.
I'll just kind of like walk out of this way. Oh, Conrad didn't go too far, did he? And I don't know if he's still here or if he's wandered further this way. But if he's still here, good. If he's wandered further this way, then I'll probably say, I found it. We should probably fetch him before he wanders too far away.
So most of your friends are still up, they're all kind of heading back here, I guess, at this point. Or up at the top, where everyone is.
Conrad guy.
He's kind of just been very fascinated with the whole concept of water walking, and he's just been playing with it this whole time.
He had a whole intention to go on a fucking excursion and just got blown away by the water walking, and we solved the mystery before he does anything.
I mean, he is using it to work because he does find some skeletal remains in the street right here, and he's kind of using the water walking as a way to kind of like more easily access them because he's able to reach it from the surface, and he's just kind of pulling it up, and that's kind of what he's doing. He's kind of got the skeleton by the ankle whenever you come back, Val, and he's kind of like looking through it, and he's like, doesn't look like Bernard.
Oi, mission complete.
What you mean?
I'll just drop all of the goodies on the ground, take the goggles off my face, throw them in the pile, and then I'll whip the book out from the back waistband and kind of wave it in the air. I found your friend in a makeshift blind a little south of here. He's not in too good of shape. Face ripped off, a little decomposed. But I found the journal, I think.
You think?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I don't want to open it. It's not privileged information or something.
It's not for me to say.
He was wearing the same thing as you, so I kind of assumed. And then he had all of these goodies, which your matron said that we could have if we found him. And he had the journal, which your matron also said that he had. So I just sort of put two and two together. I don't know for sure. But if you want to go check him out, and I'll just throw the book on the pile, feel free, and I'll point towards the blind. Go have a look.
He kind of picks up the journal and he says, no, this is Bernard's. I recognize it. We should get out of here as soon as possible.
Well, everybody grab a goodie from the goodie pile, and let's get the fuck out of here while we can. There's guns and stuff, and also these wicked goggles. They look
there's
pretty
also
cool.
There's also the leather coat, which, despite the massive amount of damage that he suffered, is in pristine condition.
I wanted to try to like appraise everything, but I want to be fair and give people a chance to go through the goodies. Coat.
Is it another +1 leather armor? But
you will have to find out later.
We don't have time to go through everything. Just grab a piece and let's go.
Fetch will go for the goggles since everyone else has some sort of way to deal with the darkness, and he's just gonna assume.
Wait, is it dark now?
So the forest itself is quite dark, even though this is not the sunniest place. I don't know if we've covered that before. The overgrowth of the tree and the mist that is kind of flowing into this place makes it much darker than usual. It's very much earning the name Tenebrarum,
Okay, well,
which is
everybody, they're in range.
So you kind of like are looking at everyone, and you look over to the side, and you see that Honesty is frozen in fear.
Huh?
She kind of looks over, and she just is pointing, and she just screams at the top of her lungs, "Run!" And she breaks out this way. You kind of like, for those of you who care to look back, at first you just see these green eyes lurking in the dark, and then you see the teeth and the snarling mouth, and then barreling towards you, this large lycanthrope-like creature, larger than any that you have seen before, with teeth the size of daggers, slobber just dripping from its mouth, claws the size of ship nails, barreling towards you. We are now going to do a skill challenge, if you guys don't mind,
Hell.
because that thing will kill you if you get into a fight with it.
Can we just assume that everybody picked something up out of the pile of goodies after the fucking 6 times I said for people to do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Everybody
cool.
has
All of the goodies
except
are
for-
picked up. Cool. All right.
Except for
That's all I
except
wanted.
for Honesty. Okay, except for Honesty, because she ran. She was like, "Fuck this shit." All right. So let's put on the lycanthrope music, and then we are going to run as fast as we can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move you guys back here. Okie doke.
Okay.
Okay, doke. So this is going to be a skill challenge, and the way that it's going to work is that for every failure, you guys are going to the creature is going to have an opportunity to take a shot at those of you who have the lowest roll if it results in a failure. So it's going to be a medium athletic skill challenge. Everyone is going to roll athletics, and I'm going to take the average. If the average meet or exceeds the DC, that is a success. If it is lower, obviously that is a failure. So let me get my notes set up.
Why athletics, bro? Can't I use acrobatics?
Nope.
Nope.
Because this is a dead-on sprint.
This is a dead-on sprint to the edge of the forest. Or the pond outside of the Three Old Gables, depending if you share that information.
We'll see if it becomes visible. I will point it out. If it's irrelevant, I won't. But we'll just say, like, if during the skill challenge that since like our cover's already blown, we're already running for our lives, right? If we come across the Three Old Gables and I see the lake, I will actively like call it out during our run. Like, run to that, go jump in. It's gonna hurt, but it can't follow us or something. Something quick that conveys that.
It is a pond. It's not a large lake, okay? But it's just tiny. I said lake earlier. That's not entirely accurate. Okay, so the way, just so that we have all of our cards at the table, it's a DC 14 difficulty. Not terrible, but you do need to have 4 successes before you get 3 failures.
Oh,
so
let's get this failure out of the way real quick. Oh shit! Never mind.
Nice.
Nice.
Wait, you said
nice.
Sorry.
Okay, so you all have to roll, and the average is what I take.
So with the history we have had of being able to spend a spell slot on a relevant spell, can I use that for Expeditious Retreat, which basically gives me the ability to bonus action dash or
Yeah, that is entirely pertinent.
All right.
That is what the spell is for.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I wonder if the whole goal of the skill challenge is to flee. Like I say, I know I got a natural 20, right? But like fucking I can bonus action dash. So
Yeah.
like, how does that get taken into factor, right?
So Montelius, why did you roll twice?
I messed up my rolls there.
No. Okay, so the 18 is what came out first.
Yeah.
The modifier is the same
Oh,
though, so just take the fucking
never,
18, dog.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
it's the
same thing, bro. It's the
same
same.
thing.
If we were doing
you
this
would've-
on fucking pen and paper, you wouldn't do that. You'd
It
just
would
be
have
like,
been
adjust the modifier.
fine. It would have been fine if it was on pen and paper. I'm not gonna do that for a misclick, even though I'm not that mean. Especially since we're dealing with like something that could like potentially kill you. Oh, honesty has a -1 to athletics. This is gonna be fun. Oh my
Zero, bro.
Oh my
That
God.
26 is still gonna drag it up.
Yeah, it's still gonna drag it up. I need to take a picture of that. That is
I can't impart my luck. No.
no, you can't. Okay, and now we need to add Conrad to it. So his is going to be he's not proficient, and nor is
Come on,
he strong
bro.
enough.
Just
He
roll
is,
high. That's all you gotta do is roll high.
you rolled a 6.
That's not high, bro. That's not
That's
high at all.
dude.
It is a 13.8 average.
A 13.8 average. Well, you know what? Lucky for you, I'm going to round that up. So we're going to call that a success. Whew. So it's barely a success. So you guys are now. Honesty is in the back. So it's looking like she's the one who's going to get hit if that's the case. So the creature, as you kind of like look, you can hear it go. And it's just slathering as it is running after you. Let's go ahead and do the next round of athletics checks, if you please.
would any attack spells possibly help us if they slow the beast down?
No. If you stop to attack it, it is going to. You are in combat with it.
Okay.
Because if you stop to turn around, it is running so fast that it is going like its running speed is 40 feet. So, like, if you stop even for a second, it will overtake you and you will be in combat with it. And I'm telling you right now, that will kill you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to assume that we're basically just assuming that every action is dash.
Every action is dash unless you are using a spell that will help you with the skill challenge. Like, we're kind of like mending those two together because it is a skill challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Conrad actually didn't do too bad. He rolled a 14.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna cast this. I'm gonna cast enhance ability on myself.
Okay, that will give you. So if you burn that spell slot, that will give you advantage on the roll. So you don't really have to.
Oh, okay.
Do the. I mean, if you want to give yourself the temp HP in case
No.
get
Pretty
hit, then you can. So just roll your athletics twice.
Yeah.
Whew.
Okay.
All right, me next.
Uh-oh.
Oh
So,
god.
All right, question. The fact that this is just like what we were talking about a second ago, right? Every single turn, because of halfling nimbleness or whatever, I have the ability to bonus action dash, right? So I get an extra dash. I get a total of like 70 something fucking movement speed if I'm constantly dashing and using everything on dash. Can I factor that in to give myself any sort of like?
I will say that you can. Okay, so here's what I would do. You can use that for a one-time reroll. But like, because that would, you would get the. So here's the reason why I say it's one time only. You're using that to give yourself a quick burst of speed, but this is not a short distance sprint. This is a long race to the edge of the forest. So once you put that in, you got to maintain that distance. So you get that one time reroll. So go ahead and reroll one time.
Better.
Okay.
Okay.
Better. That is a failure. You guys got a 10.4. All All right, so it looks like the beast is going to come up behind Honesty, and it's going to attempt a single bite attack.
Can I use Misty Step to like intercept that attack? Burn a spell slot to take the attack instead of.
You could burn a spell slot to re-roll your
Fucking skill
athletics check,
challenges,
and
bro.
if that increases the average
I don't like skill challenges.
beyond into where it is a success, then
Alright.
that's how that would work.
Fuck.
No, damn. That would not increase it by enough. You guys are at a 10.4 right now. So there's always a chance that it could miss. And it rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm just gonna play that out in my head as Fetch just Misty stepping back to try and save her and just like shoving her out of the way just enough for it to miss.
Okay, just enough, barely, because you, without that, like it would have probably grabbed her and taken her into the forest.
Yeah.
Oh god.
All right, we're now in the next round. Let's go ahead and let's do our next athletics checks, guys. Remember, if you have a spell slot or a class ability that you want to use it to give yourself advantage.
Enhanced abilities concentration is. Do I have to use another one, or am I?
You have to use another one. Yeah, you have to continuously burn those slots.
Okay. But again. I bet that's just the spell cast.
Just burn the slot and don't worry about pressing the button. Okay, this is looking better.
This is looking better. Okay, Conrad rolled a 15. And Honesty rolled. Okay, that's not terrible. Okay, so let's see what we have. We have 15 plus 13. I'm going up to the bottom. Plus 21. Plus 23. Plus 11 divided by 5. Wait, that's not right. 13 plus 15 plus 21 plus 23 plus 11 divided by 5. 16.6. That is another success. We're almost there, fellas. We're halfway through. All right. So the creature is, you guys kind of move back into, hold on, let me just do this so it is easier. You guys are back in this part of the forest where you first, I don't know why I moved you guys to the map. And
Wrong map.
Yep. I have so many maps for this game and they are not next to each other. It's very frustrating. All right. Let me paste you guys back here. So you guys are back in this map, which is the first one where you had that first encounter, and you are kind of like ripping through the undergrowth here. Honesty is kind of neck and neck with Fetch. The creature is hot on your heels. It is getting closer. So let's go for our next round of athletics checks, if you please. Remember to declare what you would like to do to give yourself advantage before you roll.
Enhance ability.
Okay, keep burning those spell slots. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Conrad rolled an 18. Not bad.
So I'm gonna burn a Channel Divinity, Fury of the Tides, to try and knock down a tree like into its path as we're running by.
Okay. Can you link Fury of the Tides to me? I forgot what that does.
It's basically a 10-foot blowback on something. So basically, like trying to catapult a tree at it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll say that works if you burn that. Yeah.
No. Banning? Athletics?
Ooh.
Yes!
Now we're cooking with grease. All right, Val, hit me. This is not bad. Okay, that is a 17. You guys are doing pretty good. You only need one more success before you're out of the woods. So, kind of ripping through the woods, you guys eventually kind of tumbling through the undergrowth. As you run past the trees, you feel these sharp, blackened branches snap as you run through them, scratching you as they do. You can almost see the edge of the forest from where you are. You are a stone's throw away from it. Let's do our last, well, maybe one of our last athletics checks. Go, Val.
Oh wow, nice.
Man, there's a lot of natural 20s happening tonight on y'all's end.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's still possible for this to fail, so
I'll say that.
Don't say that.
I'm managing
guys- okay.
expectations.
So I didn't roll honesties on the thing because it was just easier for me to roll it on the dice. So Conrad rolled a 12 and he doesn't have a modifier, so he failed on his own. Honesty rolled a 4 on the dice, and she has a -1, so she rolled a 3. With the 2 natural 20s that you guys got, the average that you rolled, and keep in mind you had to get a 14, was a 14.2.
Oh,
Look,
nice.
we're just putting that 0.2 we got on the first one and
just
Carry-
moving it over. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
carrying it over. So
Yeah.
here's what happens. You run kind of like you see the edge of the forest. You feel, you know that it's possible that the creature may not chase you out of the forest. Val knows for sure that is the case. So he very much just is like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And you watch as he just beelines it faster than you thought his little legs could carry him. And he and Touchstone not wanting to be devoured by a creature that is associated with the moon, because that is dishonorable, just picks up the pace, and both of them just like get the fuck out safe and sound. The rest of you kind of like neck and neck make it through. Fetch, you honestly, like, you swear to God that you feel the wet, warm breath of this creature on the back of your neck just before you erupt through the tree line. And as you stand there in the field that is before the forest, you hear from less than 10 feet away from you this bellowing, angry roar that you can even feel the wind come through the trees. And you smell the fetid breath of this creature. But after it bellows and roars and you see it kind of like an angry gorilla tear at the undergrowth and throw trees around, it eventually calms itself down and it trots off back into the forest. Conrad sits down on the ground and lays back and rests. Oh. I am so glad that this is my day alive because I never want to have to deal with that again.
No, what do you mean? That wasn't nearly as bad as they made it out to seem.
He kind of gives you a very perturbed look.
Look, man, we've danced with death for years now, all right? This is... okay, I'll admit, the big one, a bit fucked up, a bit freaky. I'll give you that. But, I mean, as long as we can sort of work around that, that's not too bad. Are those the small ones mostly what you guys have to deal with back in the city?
No hunter has actually fought Lebet and lived. If you see it, if you encounter it, the common knowledge, the prevailing wisdom is to run. Exactly what we just did. I just want to get back to the lodge and have this day over with.
Let me ask you something. Do you have friends who have been turned into these beasts?
I have.
And now you've been bitten yourself.
The asylum is full. There is no place for me to ensure that I will be in a position where I cannot harm anyone.
Explain to me the purpose of the asylum. Is it just all of the people who are bitten and in a human state, or is it just a chaos of these beasts down there?
He kind of sits up and he just kind of says, "You really don't know anything about this place, do you?"
No. I'm hoping you can enlighten me. I'm a bit of a visitor. However, I don't know, I have an idea.
Well, I guess there's no harm in telling you. In fact, if you're lucky, you may be able to find a place down there yourself. If there's an opening, but that never happens. The asylum is beneath the Phlegethon Hospital, which is a hospital. It is just it's an old part of the catacombs that run underneath the city that have been repurposed into a holding facility for those who have the money and the wherewithal to reserve a place during the hunt. The curse has been in Portalucine for a very long time, but it is unseemly to discuss, and it is not passed down through. It is not passed down through birth per se, but it can be transmitted in other ways. So those who know that they carry the curse pay to have a cell in the asylum set aside for them, and there they live out their days in the hunt, in a place where they can be safe from the hunters and the townsfolk can be safe from them. I do not know much about the place other than I know that the doctors use a special incense that fills the entire asylum with a fragrant, pungent smoke that keeps the beasts calm and passive during the time. Most of them sleep throughout the duration of the hunt.
What of your hunters and actual warriors who get infected? I don't mean like farmers and women, but guards and trained soldiers. What happens to them when they get infected?
Whenever you were in the lodge earlier today, I assume you saw what happened to Reginald. He was infected.
Remind me.
He was bitten 2 nights ago. I had received word before I left that he had gotten word that there was no space in the asylum for him. The only acceptable course of action after hearing that news is to ensure that you will not become a danger to your fellow hunters and to your city. If he is the man I knew him to be, he is dead by now by his own hand.
Are there any warriors in the asylum?
There's a few. Perhaps. At least one of my friends is there. Whenever it's not the hunt, he is a very valuable member of the lodge. His insights into how the creatures think and behave and the way that they react to certain things is very helpful in our preparations between hunts, which is a multi-decade process. Part of the reason why the city hasn't been overrun is because we have had over 50 years to prepare for this. We knew it was coming.
I'm so tempted. I'm gonna fuck. I don't know if we're ever gonna encounter these people again, though. Or well, I mean the lodge in particular, but
Sorry, my dog is squeezing a toy. I just took it from him.
That's okay.
What do you think the response would be if killing Lebet were to alleviate all of this? You say that no one man has ever gone in there and survived, but what about every single warrior?
Did Helena tell you about that story whenever she was 6 years old and she stabbed a werewolf to death with a silver fork?
Yes.
That
Laughed
happened.
briefly, but not really many details.
Well, I don't know if that story is necessarily true, but I do know that she was around during the last hunt. Her father was a hunter, and we have from our records that there was a concerted effort to make it the last hunt. Every hunter in the city went into the Tenebrarum wood, and none of them came back out again. That last hunt, the reason why a 6-year-old girl had to stab a werewolf to death with a silver fork, that is because there were no hunters left in the city to protect anyone. So, if you're wondering why there hasn't been a concerted effort to track the beast down, that is why.
Well, I guess that about answers all of my questions.
Thought?
And I'll just deliberately toss the journal over to over to him. Well, I guess we should probably get back to the lodge then. Seeing as you're safe and sound, we want to prolong that as long as we can. We did our side of the mission.
Yes, we should. All right. And he kind of stands up, dusts himself off, takes up the journal, he sheathes his weapon, and you guys begin the hike back to the lodge. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for this session because it is getting close to 9 o'clock.
Okay.
All right.
And
Does anybody have any questions? How's everybody feeling?
Glad we're not dead.
yeah.
Not yet.
Well, are these goggles of night? Because Fetch
They are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
We'll put them on and be like, oh, cool.
Oh,
can see
cool!
now.
I can see. The coat is magical as well. I want to make sure that you guys have a catalog of everything that you have. So let me add a note to this.
But now Fetch should actually be pretty much unrecognizable if he's wearing those. Because he's still got the cloth mask and now he's wearing the goggles, so yeah. About the only thing that stands out is perfectly coiffed hair. But at the same time, that's just any blonde guy can have perfect coiffed hair.
Yeah. Flat fee of 400 gold. Counted bet. Okay. Fought off 3 werewolves. Countered Lebet after finding Zabala's.
I gotta make a point to fill the actual party in on the shit that I've learned.
Yes,
just in
you
case
do.
anybody has any other insight. Well, I didn't wanna like make a point of explaining shit in front of the other guy. Like I say, that I was debating
Conrad.
on even bringing up the Conrad. I was debating on even bringing up the like I say, possibility that killing Lebet would like alleviate the plague, right? Or the the werewolf issue, but he seemed to not even like notice. He was just like, oh, so you know about this too, eh? Like, okay, well, that wasn't as much of a secret as I was thinking. But all the rest of that stuff, like the black rock under the lake, the stones he likes to go to, like I say, it's obviously the leader's gonna know all of that shit, but probably best to keep all the details.
She is now. Yeah. Well, she is now, that's for sure.
Well, it's a good thing though, right? I mean, I assume. I guess nobody insight checked her, so we don't know if she's like a terrible person or anything, but I don't know.
She's an awful person. How do you know?
I don't know. It seemed like the right thing to do. I don't think there was a reason to hide it.
Okay, managed to outrun the creature with no injuries, which is good. I would say that with the way that all this turned out, this is probably the maximum. This is probably the most desirable outcome that could have gone for this side quest.
Nice.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll see how things turn out later.
I mean, one of the party members getting infected by werewolf.
Yeah,
Not so much, but
not
Yeah,
so
that's
much,
not
but,
ideal.
but that's something that you're going to have to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And the real question is, on the way back, what are you going to do about Conrad? Because he knows that you're infected, and you're about to walk into a entire building that is filled with lycanthrope hunters. And I'm going to let you guys chew on that for the next 2 weeks.
oh, I pretty much have an idea, and it's gonna be out of fucking left field.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it, but I will hear it in 2 weeks. So you have time to make sure that it works. All right. So I love you guys. I hope you had fun. I hope I scared the shit out of you tonight, because that's kind of what I was going for. And I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, good
Well
session,
played.
guys.
Take it easy. Mm-hmm.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. There we have it. Another session down. This is a fun campaign so far. Freaky, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Val is in a not good spot. That's a good point he mentioned there at the end. Like, I don't know. I sort of figured that a society full of lycanthrope hunters would probably be accustomed to their hunters occasionally being bitten and not having to be murdered immediately, but I may have been a little too charitable of them on that one. So now comes the decision of, what do we do? Because we don't get paid for the mission. Like, we did all of this for nothing if we just kill Conrad, right? Like, that was one of the conditions of success, was that Conrad survives, so that would be Val's first choice as like a self-preservationist. He would just say, you know what, fuck this Conrad guy. Like, if he's the one person who knows that this means death, basically. But I think, I mean, their other guy who got infected, he said, oh, if he has any decency, he will have died by his own hand. So maybe they provide some amount of grace. I don't know. Maybe we can convince them of something. Maybe we can lie through it and Fetch persuades Conrad to not say anything. Fuck, I don't know. I do not know. So that's going to be an interesting start to the next session. This one was good, though. We were definitely on our toes. If that werewolf encounter had gone any more poorly, we would have gotten completely fucked. Val is not built for an athletics-based skill challenge, so I was just like, well, hope I don't roll a 1, or hope I don't roll a 2 rather, because I could re-roll a 1, but it all worked out. So we'll see if it continues to work out and how my lycanthropy goes. Sounds like that big werewolf that needs to be killed to completely resolve the curse is basically an impossible challenge for us at this point in time, so what to do. I guess we see how many days it takes to progress the story onto the next phase. And hope I don't roll low on the next couple of nights, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it in 2 weeks. So thanks for watching tonight. If you were here, thanks for hanging around. Good stuff, fun as always. And catch you at the next one. Final Fantasy Prague on Tuesday, if you're into that. So see you there for that. If not, catch you in D&D, or catch you for D&D in 2 weeks. Cheers. Goodbye.